Oh my God. Hi. How's everybody doing? Happy Tuesday, right? Yeah, it's Tuesday. I'm like, it's Tuesday, right? How are we doing? Let me throw some of my Sakura Vaseline stuff I got on my lips. Thank you, Creek. Creek sent me a little care package. You know, because I gotta send her some stuff back. Hey, how's everybody doing? So I'm gonna try and remember to do like write timestamps down as I go, because I have a little timer on my StreamYard side of everything, and then after stream is done, myself or one of the girls, probably me because it's my fucking channel, and I should do the work. We'll go in and like put timestamps through, like we'll pin it in the comment section, because this is gonna be, we have some videos to watch, and then there's gonna be some discussion. Um, we're not going to be talking about anyone in particular, right? We're going to be talking in generals during this stream. Um, just this is a stream about online relationships and how those can be great and how they can go wrong, and there's a lot of stuff going on right now that relates to, and I've been saving this stream for a couple of weeks now, so we might skip a little more over the bite model because I think the mob mentality and groupthink is more relevant. So we'll see. My nose is runny. It's I'm a mess. The Creakin. Release the Creakin. I see Miss Sarah K. I know she's at work. Replay gang gang. I gotta make the cornball. Alicia Bellin. R.I.P. Alicia Bellin she was gifted a membership in Sam's chat this morning. And she listen, Alicia goes everywhere and is like non problematic. I know, Dove Kitty, not the timestamps. And my last stream, I saw your comment after stream when I was like, I'm an island unto myself. And you were like, don't go FFG Raven. And I was thinking that as I was saying it. So same brain cell, Dove Kitty. We've got, I saw Skeeter in here. What up, Skeet Skeet? Chris Ryan, welcome back. Good to see you again. Andy, Julie, my sweet, sweet friend. Kayla, my girl. Hammy, my YouTube's husbands. How you been, sweetie? Sean Nova. And thank you for gifting one Raven Star membership, Sean Nova. Dove Kitty, how you doing? Chris Ryan, welcome to memberships. And thank you so much, Sean. And please enjoy your member emojis, Chris. Good to see you again. Alicia, I'll explain this in a minute. We've got Share Bear. Okay, so as more people come in, we'll say hi. I don't mind if it's a small crowd today because I like when it's more intimate. So, fun fact, you do not have to be subscribed to a channel to receive a membership. Okay. All you have to do is interact with that channel. So if you're watching, you comment during chat, during stream, you thumbs up or thumbs down, or even just watch the channel. All you have to do is interact with that channel, and you can receive a membership. You do not have to be subscribed. Also, I haven't seen anybody talk about this. Fun fact, channel owners and moderators on a channel, say if I wanted, who's in front of me, if I wanted to click on Sean Nova, right, on my YouTube side, I can click on Sean Nova and I can see all of his activity on my channel. Any person. You hit channel activity, it shows deleted messages, how many times a person's been timed out, and how many times they've been hidden. And then I can go through and it's got every single one of my streams that person, in this case, I'm just using you as an example, Sean. You know I love you. Hey, Gata. I can go through everyone. It lists every stream that person has participated in, and I can see every comment they made, even if it was deleted during stream. If I click on my moderators, which some of you might want to take note of this, just so you understand how your moderators work. I say I want to click on Ham and Beans. He's right there on my phone. Channel activity. You, as a channel owner, can now see how many deleted messages, timeouts, and hide. Same thing. So, what's that little 3 dots up there? So just be aware that there's no more fuck shit to be had. That like I always say, oh, dumb kitty. Dumb kitty says, "Ruh-roh, I could be in trouble. I watched some crazy stuff." Same girl. Same. I chill at night over in my little what's become my little comfort area of YouTube. I'm not saying where that's at, but I will say I saw somebody over a name I recognized, and I was like, "What the fuck is this person doing over there?" I was like, "God damn it!" It's just like my little chilling out place on the YouTubes. So we're doing this stream today. I think I'm gonna try and do. I don't want to do 2 streams in one day. Maybe like tomorrow, or because I need to catch up with Frenchie, and then we're gonna do Phil Schneider and Dulce Bass. Can I tell you all the shit I use? Sorry, I'm trying not to swear because monetization. Hey, Texas one. Hey, Josette, Chef Maiku. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you, Chef. Um, all these videos on all this like stuff I used to watch, they're gone. Like off of YouTube. Like I can't find them anymore. I'm gonna have to pull Phil a copy of Phil Schneider's lecture off of Rumble, and I can't find anyone where the quality is very good because they're like all from the 90s, but we're gonna do it. And I want to, yeah, yes, exactly. Dulce Bass. Woohoo! I'm very excited to do Dulce Bass. That's gonna be going back into the spoopy streams here soon. I'm all over the place. Listen, I watched Alexandria Ryan. She's a great makeup YouTuber, and she's very like calming and real, and I like the way she does. She's not glopping on 5 pounds of concealer. Like I very much like her. Like for a lot of ad campaigns for eyeshadow, when you see the close up of that eye, it's probably her. So, she's amazing. So today's stream, let me mark this, about 9:41. So I did intro. So today's stream, you can see from the thumbnail and the title. Have a good day, Chef. Listen, we all know there's a lot of shit going on right now, right? And YouTube in general, in all areas of YouTube, Gore World, all that stuff. So like I said, I'm going to be speaking in generals. Okay? If I use anyone as an example, I will be pulling from my own personal experience, cuz I mean that's like what we do, that's your own personal experience. I'll probably be using, some of the bigger creators, and this isn't to demean anybody. We're here to talk about how I think we've all been thinking a lot, especially since, say, like maybe Thanksgiving or Christmas, how all of this online stuff works. Like, all of this started because we all wanted to watch Chantal and Amber, right? The girls, the OG girls. And then the clip channels came along. And then the reactions came along. And then there were other communities. And I'm starting to feel more and more like personal beef is not content. I don't know. I could do a poll. Should we do a poll on that? Hey, Judy Booty, let's do a poll. Let's do a poll. Because I'm just, the part of me doesn't know what to think anymore with all this stuff. All right, let's start a poll. Oh, I have my caps lock on. Is personal beef content? Yes or no? And this is what we're here to do. We're here to have a conversation about this, right? And I'd like to continue this into a members only stream possibly tomorrow night or like later in the afternoon tomorrow. I know I'm a little early today. I've got so much laundry and like housework to do, so I'm trying to like navigate around that. So let me know what you guys think. Do we think personal beef is content? I think people should stream what they want to stream about. I also know and realize that that has repercussions, and it may not have the repercussions or the intent that you may think it is. Yeah, exactly. Texas one, yes. Texas one says there are gray areas involved. I think when it's like sometimes you have to, if somebody's going to go around and an opinion and critique of someone is one thing. Like people are going to say what they're going to say. To blatantly lie or to twist the narrative. Hey, Mims, how you doing, sweetie? Yeah, I will probably still be here, Kayla. Um, like if thing A happened, but someone involved in that, or how many times have we seen across the board over the years, again and again and again, one person involved in whatever, whether it's two people, three people, a group of people, come on and yeah, I know it's a multi-layered question, but we're just trying to get a general idea, guys. Just bear with me. Just bear with the burb. How many times have we seen both parties or one person involved in a situation flat out twist the narrative, twist the facts, downplay their role, exaggerate someone else's and try and turn it around and be like, "Oh, it wasn't me. It was I'm the victim. Poor me. Poor me." Like how many times have we seen that shit? But here's one thing I've realized, especially not just with Gore World, but YouTube in general. Just be honest. Be yourself. If you fucked up, admit you fucked up. If you don't care, say you don't care. Just be honest. Because the truth always fucking comes out. And it may take time and it might be messy getting there. People are going to realize the fucking truth. And it's always worse when somebody has like portrayed a situation as such to cover their own ass. And then people are told or realize, oh, wait, but that's not what happened. You fucked up, but you tried blaming so and so. And that makes people even more mad. And you want to talk about losing a fucking audience or, going too hard, as we've seen. It's a lot. Hey, Jarella. Yeah, I know a lot of people are at work, which is fine. I do have my latte. Tastes even better because it was free. So I know I've covered the BITE model before. So the BITE model stands for behavior, information, thoughts, and emotion. I have a short video for that. We can touch on that real quick. Oh, Bamboozled, how you doing, sweets? Bambooble says, I wish somebody would try to tell me what channels I can watch. Like Target banning you because they see you with the Walmart bag. I know. Listen, I've had people in my shout out Capone Boxer. And I know Kate Winslet timed her out for like a minute that one stream. Dude, I never banned Capone. I've never given Capone a hard time. Everywhere else they've gotten a hard time and blocked and whatever, but I'm like, yeah, I'm not a fan of where Capone hangs out at. But I also never blocked Capone. So It's like, this is all getting too messy. Like, lest we forget, we're all here to talk about some fatties on the internet. We're here to talk about some train wrecks on the fucking internet. And that's why I sit up here and I'm like, I'm a hot mess too. I am a hot fucking mess. I ain't sitting up here claiming to be better than anybody. I'm like, like I says in my description, I just want to sit and have a kiki with everybody. Like, I just want to hang out and talk. I just want to hang out and talk. Yes, exactly. Bamboozled. Bamboozled says viewers are the customers in this dynamic. You're not wrong. Yeah. Your views, especially if you have YouTube Premium, which I'm so tired. Some of these creators that you know are making good money can't pay. What is it? $13 a month now for YouTube Premium so we don't have to deal with commercials. Get your shit together. Come on now. Yep, I never banned Capone, which, and again, I stand by each creator's channel is their channel and their chat, and good, bad, or in between. They can run it how they like. And I respect that. I may not agree with it, but I'll respect it. I'll say that. Hey, Cranky Pasta. So do we want to delve into the bite model? Because that to me is more like, okay, so this is how my mind works. The bite model is more like culty, kind of, whether it's Scientology. I'm going to throw Jared Leto's creepy ass in there. Jared Leto, what is you doing? That's a whole deep dive I should go into. Oh my God, Jared Leto. Oh, yikes. Or do we want to go, maybe do we want to like go more into like mob mentality, groupthink? Because I have this video from this girl. It's amazing. Well, let me see how long no, so I've got another video from Dr. Stephen Hassan. Let me make sure it's queued up. Oh, I've got my I've got my captions on and they're in Spanish. I'm trying to learn. Okay. Wait, is it on? Off. Okay. Okay. So, all right, let's dip into the bite model real quick because it is in the thumbnail and whatnot. And we'll spend a little bit of time on that, and then we'll cruise into, I should have just trimmed it down to mob mentality and groupthink. So bite model is going to be, to me, like a bigger scale, your cults and just kind of like weird, like Jared Leto type stuff, things like that. But it also can apply to smaller scales, like, FFG and her group of people. Mob mentality is, it's sort of that cancel culture of things where it's, especially right now with the divide in politics, and it's like, if you don't agree wholeheartedly with like something that's being said, then you're labeled as an ist or a phobic, and it's, there's a lot of nuance to everything, and I think people are forgetting that, and there's too much emotion. Hey, Diff. Oh, hold on, let me cancel that. Or Creakin, sorry. Yes, I know, StreamYards. Thank you very much. Creakin, thank you for being a member for 7 months, Poopy Burbs. Diff, I'm coming out of the post office. I'm late because of you. Just kidding. Hey, everyone. Yeah. Release the Creakin. Yep, Texas one says it's always been that way. I've been around. I know. Yeah, I believe you, Texas. And you know what? It has. It has. I mean, I've been around a long time too, and I think it's more severe now. I think it's a lot more severe now with the different situations going on um between creators, social issues. It's a lot. Excellent point, Bamboozled. Bamboozled says this binary thinking of someone is all good or evil sets up unrealistic expectation, leads to cancel culture. Yeah, yeah. And that's part of what I was thinking about and watching these videos and just kind of taking a step back as of late and being more observant. And it's there's a lot of things going on, and I see wrong on all sides. There's not one person in any given situation that I think can sit there, or we as a community can sit there and be like, that person is without fault. No. There's fucked up shit on both sides, and I've been seeing a lot of side A will say something, and in return side B will say something, and they're both on the same scale of shitty. It just depends on who you like more. If you like one person or the other more. But I'm like, that's shitty. Okay, but then that's shitty too. And again, just throwing fucking turds at each other at this point. It's like why? Exactly, Drilla. I knew. Oh, I'm gonna do my best to keep up with chat because you guys have excellent points. Hey, Oleander Rainbow, how you doing? All right, let's watch Dr. Hassan's video because I want more so to get into the mob mentality and group think. So group think to me is more like a group. We're in a group, and it's I'll get more into it. So that's kind of how it goes for me. Bite model, mob mentality, group think. All right. Let's make sure we can hear. All right. So all videos are linked in my description. Please check out all of these channels. So this is What is a Cult? Let's put it up to 1.25. And I know I've talked about this in the past, so we're not going to spend too much time on it.
Okay, so what exactly is a cult then? Now that's quite a question. Does anyone join a group and then say, hey, I've just joined a cult and it's great, come and join me? Well, no. So how would you know if you or maybe a member of your family was in a cult? Well, sadly, if you're already on the inside, you probably wouldn't know. After all, that's how cults need to operate. Unless maybe you're the leader, in which case shame on you. But anyway, so how can a member or their friends or their family tell if they are in a cult? Well, the cult word, the C word, can be very offensive to some. The word's highly emotive, and it's often very upsetting when used on members. So we need to somehow define the word cult, or some would say a high control group, or maybe a group that exercises undue influence. So let's have a look at some names, past and present. Have you heard of any of these?
Do you mean like not being able to question the streamer you watch? Not being able to express an opposing opinion to the streamer you watch, what they're saying, what the majority of their chat is saying? Again, everyone's welcome here. All opinions are welcome. Bamboozled. I don't know that I'm the most intelligent person to do a stream on logical fallacies and critical thinking. There's one person in particular I'd want to get up here with me to do that, and I don't know if she'd be down for it. I'd have to ask her, but I will make a note. Logical fallacies, and then I'm going to write down the person's name because they're excellent at it, and I would want them. I've been wanting to do a stream with them for like over a year, so again, and I'll say this again, especially for certain people. How you doing, that? You can come in here and express your opinion respectfully. I've had people come in and express opposing opinions. It's welcomed here. It's needed. It is needed. More chats need that. There's a difference between that and making fantastical claims about somebody. And that shit is like, that's skating the line. So it just, but no, you can come in here. I'm going to talk about fucking aliens and deep underground military bases coming up. You don't think I'm not going to allow somebody to come in and be like, this is all fake. This isn't like, I have to. That's what my channel's built on, but I digress.
Which would you think were cults or not? The Moonies, there's Scientology, there's the SLA, Jonestown, Wacko, the Branch Davidians.
Okay, so here, just a few. Moonies, Sun Myung Moon, Scientology, John Travolta, Tom Cruise, SLA, Patty Hearst. Wasn't Patty Hearst more so? What is that? What's that called when like you start to what's that called? Stockholm syndrome. Jesus Christ, getting old sucks. Waco, Branch Davidians, that story is wild. I might start delving more into like in my spoopy streams and just in general. Ooh, and I can't forget to tell you what we're going to be doing in July. Oh my God, I'm so fucking excited. That's going to be great. You're going to want to make sure you're a member in July. Yeah. So some organizations.
Manson, Charles Manson, The Way,
Yes.
Al-Qaeda,
Stockholm.
Islamic State, Boko Haram, North Korea, child or sex trafficking, Mormons, we could go on and on. In fact, some go so far as to consider all religions to be cults. Well, there are very specific indicators of a cult or a high control group. And it's when that level of control becomes dangerous that we need to worry. So when is that? Okay, just for a minute, let's go back to the 60s, where a Professor Robert J. Lifton was researching mind control. In his 1962 book, Thought Reform and the Psychology of Totalism, he gave 8 indicators of cult behavior or brainwashing.
Ooh, am I writing this down? You bet I am. Thought reform. I am writing this down. Robert J. Lifton. Okay, sorry.
He did this after studying at length the Korean War, Chinese prisoners of wars, and Lifton came up with these 8 indicators, and they are Milu, or environmental control, mystical manipulation, demand for purity, cult of compassion, sacred science, loaded language, doctrine over person, and dispensing of existence. So that language.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of quote unquote cults do use more religious means. I agree with you, Bam. That's why I've also included mob mentality and groupthink, because I think there's definitely, like anything, and humans are very complicated. Our emotional and psychological states of not only ourselves, but then our interactions with other individuals, let alone groups, is very complicated. And then you add this aspect of like online interaction, and it's a lot. Hey, Aztec Girl. Yes, I'm gonna get back on my spoopy streams. I'm gonna be doing Dulce base here soon, and it'll be a nice break from all the fucking drama that's going on. Oh my God. So I'm just kind of touching on this real quick, just to include bite model. And I thought I was gonna, so I'm gonna. But I really want to get to mob mentality and groupthink, more so mob mentality.
Maybe those words don't mean a lot to you, and maybe they're a little bit dated, and it's possibly quite difficult to grasp exactly what he means without reading the book. But moving forward, fast forward to 1988, Steve Hassan, himself a former Mooney, a cult member, published a best-selling, widely acclaimed book called Combating Cult Mind Control, which has often been reprinted and has recently actually been updated to its new 30th anniversary.
And Dr. Stephen Hassan, that wrote this book, he's considered like at the forefront. Like he came up with the bite model, again, behavior, information, thought, emotion, and it's all about how cults or any group with cult thinking controls you through those things. And I'm still learning a lot about it, and it's very fascinating. Hold on, let me get to some comments. Let me get to your comment, Bam. Yeah, Bam says if the objective is to actually reach those under indoctrination, using charged words like grooming as opposed to conditioning alienates people. Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. Oh, and it's been shown, and Dr. Hassan works with like deprogramming people. It takes years. Years. I think too, like how people that have been incarcerated, they get that mindset, and it takes I think that's another example too. There's so many different things this can be applied to. You know, in some aspects, maybe not fully. It's a fascinating topic. It really is.
anniversary edition.
And in the book, Steve breaks it down into a model that he calls the BITE, B-I-T-E model.
Okay,
We're going
this
to
is
take a
what
look
we
at that
want.
now and select the key indicators from each of the categories. So they're behavior control, information control, thought control, and emotional control. And as we run through them, please do bear in mind that for a group to be considered a cult, it wouldn't necessarily need to tick all of the boxes. In fact, actually, many cults will proudly declare, for instance, that we don't make anyone live with us in a commune, or lots of members leave us or have left in the past, so we can't be a cult. But there they neatly and conveniently sidestep and ignore all the other indicators. And ironically, that kind of thinking, that black and white thinking, is in itself quite cultish. All of the indicators within the BITE model can be a cause for concern. So let's take a closer look.
Okay, so number
Yeah, Scientology is my favorite example to use, and I know it's a bit extreme, but oof. But think about it, even on a smaller scale. You know, if person A leaves the cult, leaves the group, no one else is allowed to talk to him. You know, which is we'll get more into it as we go along. Have I seen the program yet? I have not got to, but I'm going to write that down. Thank you.
one is behavior control, and that's all about controlling who you are, dictating to you where you can maybe live, who you can live with, who you can associate with, who you can perhaps partner with, who you can have sex with. Is the control over the type of clothing that you can wear and what you can't wear, or hairstyles? Is your diet regulated, the type of food that you can eat and the kind of drink that you can drink?
That's
Is maybe
crazy.
hunger and fasting, does that become a part of it? Sleep, does the group deprive you of sleep or perhaps keep you so busy you don't really get enough sleep? Finance, money, that's often a big thing. Do they ask for your money? Do they manipulate you so that they can get it? Do they expect you to leave money to them? Leisure, holidays, entertainment, do they dictate where you can go on holiday and what you should do on holiday? Perhaps they suggest that you should spend more time.
Thank you for the suggestion, Mimsy. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people like when they get, and even even going back to like the mob days, like the mob wives only hung out with the other mob wives. Their families only vacationed together. Like you didn't talk to any outsiders. And it's the same with like certain a lot of quote unquote cults do have a religious or mystical or whatever kind of connotation to it. But these aspects can be applied to so many different scenarios. Like the more I learn about this and the more I watch, like it's fucking scary.
And group activities. Do you have to spend a lot of time with the group getting indoctrinated? Are things very repetitive and
Same,
ritualistic almost?
bam,
Do they
same.
maybe use the internet and multimedia as a means? Do you have to get their permission for major decisions in your life, or are you expected to decide things a certain way? Do they try and control your thoughts, your feelings, and your activities? Is there a kind of reward system or punishment system in use? And do they encourage you to spy and tell on others, particularly things that you might have even been told in confidence? It's all about.
How many times have we seen that? How many times have we seen that shit applied to Girl World? Where you're like, in the inner group or just a member of the community, and it's like, "Psst, hey, I saw so and so over here in the chat." I moderated for a creator, and there was one other person who was also a moderator who would like roam around and report back to the creator. I don't know why. I don't know if they were asked to do this or if they just did it because. And it was like, "Oh, I saw so and so in this person's chat." And keep in mind these like, yeah, like I mean, I don't talk anymore cuz I'm not allowed to. Um but I go everywhere. You guys go everywhere. I see you guys all over. But it was weird. It was like, "Oh, so and so is in your chat a couple of days a week, and then I saw them at this person's chat." And it pissed me off because this creator would be all, "Oh, hi, so and so, how are you?" Da-da-da-da-da, and then end stream and be in a private chat within the hour talking shit about them because they were in someone's chat they didn't like. Fucking miss me with that shit.
Instilling a dependency and an obedience to the group. In extreme cases, they could even threaten to harm your family and your friends, or even, in really extreme cases, to be raped and or beaten.
Exactly, Hammy.
Okay, so
Yep.
number 2 is information control, and this one's all about deception. Do they deliberately withhold information? Do they distort information and lie to you? Do they minimize or discourage access to information?
FFG does this. In Texas, I agree it happened to Capone, but I will say Capone is hanging out at the bodega, which, like, why? Like, I don't like it. I don't care for it. But Capone's been cool when they come in my chat, so I'm going to leave him be. But it's like, I'm aware, I'm not a fan. And while I'm not going to police somebody, or it does give me the side eye a little bit, because there's a difference between, it's like, you know, there are just certain places you don't go for certain reasons, but even then it's like, I'm not going to block Capone. I never did. I don't know. It's, you guys know what I'm saying. But the information control, this is the shit FFG does. FFG, where you at? This is the shit FFG does. The manipulation of the information, right? I'll use myself as an example, saying like, oh, Raven harbored a hate for me or a rage, and she waited until my mom died to talk about me. Girl, no. First off, I don't hate you. I'm not rageful towards anybody. If anything, I don't give a shit. That's the new motto. I don't give a shit. I don't really care. And I didn't wait until any such time. It happened organically, like a cucumber. It was organic. But by painting this, oh, how dare, by painting this narrative of me that I'm this hateful, rageful person that purposely waited until, something tragic had happened in her life. It gives you, she's controlling the information. It's sick and it's twisted.
Information that they haven't produced themselves. And this would usually especially be information on the internet, TV, radio, books, articles, newspapers, etc. that ex-members may have produced. In fact, anything critical of them.
I'm sorry, Jarella, what? Are you serious? Has me blocked on all social media because of whose chats I'm in. Well, I've had a couple of people approach me about that one, and they're like, have you looked into her? And I'm like, I have not. Or last year, I think it was when her Chantal and Sella moved into the fart box, and people were like leaving reviews, and she was like, listen, don't do that. You don't understand that part of the world. I agreed with her. But I'm also very vocal about, like, don't go IRL and, all this stuff. Ooh, let me end my poll. Make sure you voted in the poll. I'm going to end it. And thank you for voting if you did. I appreciate it. All right, let's see what it says. End the poll. Is personal beef content? 62% no, 37% say yes, and 54 votes. I think if you need to say something, say it. But I don't know. I think there's a fucking line and a limit. I think there comes a point you need to stop engaging and just move on.
They might also keep you so busy that you don't even have the time to think and investigate things. They could control you through modern phones, iPhones, iPads, cell phones, with texting, calls, internet tracking. Do they break things down to them and us,
That's
insider
scary.
and outsider? Okay, the third category then is thought control. They expect you to accept and internalize the group's doctrine as the absolute truth. Their map of reality is reality itself.
I see this in a lot of YouTube communities. So many. You have to go. Again, this is thought control, like groupthink, right? You can't disagree. You can't not talk. You can't disagree. I see this a lot.
Very black and white thinking. They can decide between good and evil, and there's only two. You're either with us or you're against us. And they usually use something called loaded language, so cliches and little sentences, which constrict knowledge, and they actually stop critical thoughts forming.
and reducing quite complex things into just simple buzzwords, things like the way, the truth. And of course, you must only have good and proper thoughts. Some use hypnotic techniques, chanting, meditating, excessive praying, speaking in tongues, singing as well as chanting, singing.
Getting together every day and saying the same dumb, stupid poop jokes and saying the same insults about somebody. God, I see so much of fucking FFG in this. I see so much FFG in the majority of her community. And what, like, do you see it? Because I see it.
Humming, the rejection of science and rational analysis, critical thinking and constructive criticism. Can you ask open questions about the leader or the group of leaders, their doctrines or policies and how they've come up with them? And can you say that other belief systems are quite legitimate and people are welcome to have them? Okay, and the fourth one then is emotional controls. And again, very often modern media, film, video is used to gain emotional control over members. And they make you feel that the problems are always your own fault, never the leadership or the group's fault. And in fact, often they may well blur the actual distinction.
Any problems are your fault, never the leaders or the leadership. Like poor Tweety out there in those Twitter streets asking questions and getting dogpiled on, which granted Tweety's fucking insane, but yeah. See what happened? Tweety asked for clarity about some stuff with like Rad Plaid and the Olive Garden situation and all that. Because she was like, wait a minute. There's something missing. Something isn't making sense. And she asked questions and wanted clarity, and she got dogpiled. Sounds fucking familiar.
Distinction between the leadership and God or the higher authority himself. They make you feel guilty, unworthy, a sinner. Identity guilt kind of thing, that you're not living up to your potential. Maybe your family's deficient, you come from a bad background and your past is very suspect. That fear of thinking independently, always there, and seeing the other people as part of the outside world and enemies. And if you're with them, you might lose the prize, lose your salvation. And if you go elsewhere, you'll be shunned and not spoken to by even family members. You may have heard about love bombing and the way new members are treated with lots of extra attention.
Oh my God. If you go anywhere else, you'll be shunned. No one's gonna accept you except for the Fry cult. And if you leave the Fry cult, you can't go anywhere else. No, you can come here. There's a lot of places you can go. Like, trust me, a lot of us don't fucking care. Again, just be cool, right? And I agree. Bamboozled says most of FFG's fans were former VIBs who have just transformed their weird parasocial obsession from foodie. Yeah. And look, people I fucking, please keep doing it. I love when people come into my chat and they're like, oh my God, you're talking about Frenchie again. You're so obsessed. And I'm like, please look through my channel. She is not every fucking stream I talk about. I'm actually fucking way behind on her. When I do talk about her, it's constructive criticism. We might have a little fun. It's whatever. I'm not, she's fucking sitting there obsessing about the architecture of the mall Chantal's walking through and getting upset about it and the trees. And it's like they live in the fucking desert. Water is a precious commodity. But, whatevs. She's admitted she hates Chantal. It's the only reason Frenchie talks about Lushy is terms of service. And even that, she's not doing a great job. Hey, Blondie, how you doing, sweetie? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a bit. But yeah, I agree. It's and there's so much just ick over there as far as like, is it straight up Islamophobic? Maybe not. But it's definitely in bad taste. It's definitely insulting of an entire fucking religion that it's like, really? We'll be catching up with Frenchie later this week.
And then praise, and certainly not revealing to new members the more extreme thoughts and practices of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Another common one is phobia, indoctrination, irrational fears. Don't make you scared of demons and things like that. They tell you that there's no happiness or fulfillment that you can possibly get outside the group. And the previously mentioned one, that fear of being rejected, shunning. And do they say that any that have left are weak, undisciplined, not spiritual, worldly, brainwashed, have been got out by their family and other stuff that the world can offer?
Okay, so that's a brief summary of the 4 categories from Steve Hassan's WHAT model then. Sometimes the indicators may overlap.
So if you've got concerns that you or your loved ones, family, friends may be in a cult or group like that, then what can you do? Well, that really is your next steps. Certainly, firstly, remember that the internet is your friend here, no matter what any cult leader may say or try to say to you.
And keep in mind, I'm just sitting up here talking about this shit. I ain't trying to freaking go into anybody's chat and be like, can't you see it's a cult? No. People can do what they want, go where they want, whatever, say what they want. Hey, Tiff, how you doing? I just want to talk about it. I just want to talk about what I see. I have always found humans, the human psyche, interactions, how we function, all that, everything surrounding psychology, fascinating. I went to college for a short time and my major was psychology. I find it, nothing fascinates me more than other human beings. Like, why do people function the way they function? How can two people go through the same experience and come out of it totally different? Like, I love people and I find people fascinating, good, bad, and in between. So I'm not out here trying to save anybody. I just want to talk about some shit. We're just having a kiki.
And of course, you don't have to believe everything that you find on the internet. We all know that by now. You can weigh up any evidence that you find from multiple sources. You can make up your own mind. That's what true control is all about. And it's also important to remember that, sadly, no matter how clearly you may have come to see it, confronting established cult members with facts would almost certainly have little effect. This is what cognitive dissonance is all about.
Oh, my favorite term, cognitive dissonance and plausible deniability are like my 2 favorite terms. If you know what plausible deniability is, you're a very close friend. Plausible deniability. If someone in your life is like legit in a cult, I'm so sorry, but and again, what he's saying is like, and understand with anything, whether it's someone being in a cult, someone having an addiction of some sort, or anything you approach somebody about, and they're like, "Hey, you're kind of going off the rails with this." We all want to help people, we especially those we love and that we're close to. Hey, bun, how you doing? Oh my god, hi. No one's gonna do or see anything until no one's gonna hear it until they're ready to hear it. No one's gonna change until they want to change or they're ready to change. Because trust me, if I had the power to make a human being change, things would be way different in my house.
Minds don't like to be confronted with conflicting ideas. Look up cognitive dissonance. It's a very interesting subject all on its own. So if you want to understand and know more about cults and mind control, then the key is understanding mind control itself. And for that, Steve's book is the resource, the essential reading. I can thoroughly recommend it. You can also visit his website, Freedom of Mind. Yep. And of course, as with everything these days, you will find the book on Amazon. Yeah. So thanks for watching. Hope that's been useful. Many thanks. Bye.
Nice. And this channel was Dr. Stephen Hassan, cult expert. Very interesting. I find the bite model to be extremely fascinating. And again, it does apply to oh, well, thanks for stopping in, Aztec Girl. Make sure everyone, if you would please make sure you're thumbed up. If you're subbed, if you want to share it out. Again, I cover a bunch of stuff. We're going to be getting back on the spoopy streams and conspiracy stuff because I need to talk about it. There's so much out there. We're going to get back on it. It's going to be a good goddamn time. So thanks for coming in. And again, I'd like to carry this conversation over to the next members only stream. I find the bite model to be so incredibly fascinating. Let me pull up. Oh, okay. We're going to go right into mob mentality. We're going to go right into that. So yeah, bite model is maybe a bigger scale, more serious, as far as, again, organizations like Scientology, or do you remember the religious groups? Which one was it with like the braids, or even like the family? Like there's so many adult stars that grew up in these like weird cults back in the day. Like I was reading about Joaquin and River Phoenix and their whole family, and I think it all comes down to one thing. We're all searching for something. We're all searching for an answer or the answer. Yes, children of God, Andy. Andy, I love you so much. Yes, Rose McGowan. Oh my God, I was thinking about her when I said that. Bun, get out of my head. Same brain cell. Same brain cell. I love you guys so much. You know me. But I think it's whether it's a bigger scale of like the answer to life, what is our purpose, or maybe on a smaller scale, we're like we all started out watching fatties, and now it's turned into these creators and these groups, and it's this side and it's that side. But really, we all just want a place to belong, right? We all want that channel, that group, that place we go to where it's like, this is my hangout. And I think that's why the majority of people, good, bad, or in between, no matter what the creator is saying or doing, or even if they think they're wrong, they will stick by that creator and they will back them up, and they'll be like, no, no, Raven's not wrong, because I love Raven and I've been with her from the beginning, and don't ever do that shit with me. If I ever get on some fuck shit, you better call me out. Call me out. And the first one that'll be up my ass is Creek. Release the Creekin'. She will not mince words and be like, Raven, what the hell you think you're doing? Which, thank you so much for my powwow shirt. I'm so fucking excited. Creek got me a shirt from her tribe's powwow, and I got it in the mail yesterday, and it's currently in the washing machine, and I'm so freaking excited to wear it. Yes, tacos are proof that God exists and loves us. Yes. Emotional support tacos in chat. Yes, because they're a perfect food. The variety is immense. They are comforting, they're satisfying, perfection. Absolute. If I could pick one food for the rest of my life, it would probably be tacos and lattes. We're a taco and latte channel. Who the hell talks like that? That's my impression of you, Creek. Raven, what are you doing? Creek scares me, but she has like the sweetest voice. Okay. So timestamp about 54 minutes. So you know what? Let's get right into mob mentality. Because I can kind of talk about groupthink. And with that, groupthink is gonna be like groupthink. Like, you're in a group of people, and you're afraid to go against the grain. You're afraid to go against the norm, whether that's at work. It's more usually on like a social aspect of things. And understand, a group can be two people. Um, the example I like to use, whether it was middle school or high school, there was always that group of three girls. Am I wrong? Hello, the movie Mean Girls. It's always three girls. And this is why most of my friends were guys growing up. It's always the three, right? And they get in their little group, and that can hold over whether it's middle school, high school. Fuck, I've seen groups of mean girls in retirement homes. Just saying. All it takes is a couple of people to get together. And if you put two or three people in a room, no windows, all white, nothing to do, nothing but like a sink and a toilet, right? One of them they could all convince each other within a matter of a week or less that the sky is purple. The human psyche is fucking weird. It's weird. Bam, always coming through with the facts. Triads inherently lead to exclusionary machines. Yep. It's always, listen, whether at work, in school, life, it's always like a trio of people that, yeah, I'm thinking back on like specifically like work experiences. Yeah, it's always like a group of 3 people, usually girls, because let's face it, guys are more likely to be honest and have it out. Where girls, we tend to be a little more catty, right? We're a little sneakier. That's just how we operate as the creatures that we are. But yeah, there's always, so that's more like a group think where you have like a group of people, and we'll probably get more into that in the members only. Thank you, Sarah K. Yeah. Yeah, strange. People policing grief and death always fucks me off. Yeah. Yeah. Or policing it or using it as a shield too, which I think there's a difference between, I think if you're experiencing like a genuine grief, you just need to get the fuck off the internet for a little bit. Take a break, but don't use your grief in the death of your loved one as a shield like FFG does with me. I think that is really fucked up that she does that. Oh, well, great. I'm so glad I got a notification about that. That now all of my mail is going to be routed through Sacramento. Awesome. Don't know why I needed to know that. Sweet. So, and then you've got mob mentality. So, what is mob mentality? Let's look at that. We've got a short little video, and then I have a fantastic video from this girl I found. I have been binge watching her channel. She's fantastic, and I'm excited to share her with you. But first, this is from a channel called Seeker, How Mob Mentality Gets Worse Online. It's like 5 minutes long. So let's find out. Yes, Bamboozle said, I have a friend, IRL, who is such a socially conscious consumer. Freaking exhausting. Hey, damn it, Amber, how you doing? No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. If you want to go to Wendy's after, I'll drive. I'll buy it. Sorry. If you know, you know. I love you, girl. No, I just be like, my mom and I were just talking about this the other day. I forgot how we got on the topic, but I'm like, you like all this boycotting with things. It's nearly impossible too, because so few companies own so many brands. Whereas before, X brand was X brand. Now it's like company X is gonna own 1,000 other companies and these other brands, and like it's near impossible. Again, I choose not to eat at Jimmy John's because it's not that great. Their drivers are crap, and the owner's a big game hunter. If that was the only thing, if that was my only option for food and I was hungry, like starving, would I eat it? Yeah. Yeah, I fucking would. But I get what you're saying. I try to be socially conscious and aware. Like, I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I don't want to make anyone mad at me. I also have my thoughts and opinions on things, most of which I keep to myself because that's not what my channel's about. But if you say even the slightest thing, quote unquote, wrong, this huge label is slapped on you. And it's like, whoa, can we pump the brakes and calm the fuck down? Like, it's a fucking lot right now. Can we all calm down? But again, this is what we're here to. This is why I like to avoid crowds. Because it's true. There's like research and stuff on this. Yeah, when you're in a crowd of people, because like you said, you lose your sense of individuality, your sense of accountability as an individual. Like you wouldn't walk down the street and break a storefront to steal an iPhone, right? But if you're in a group of 100 people doing the same thing, you might be more likely to do it or to participate. This is why I stay home. And I don't like crowds anyway. I don't like crowds. Yes. Sarah K, you have curly hair. You should absolutely be wearing a bonnet. I got some good ones off of Amazon. Tried ordering from CC Mink. She has like a YouTube and all that stuff. I love to support a small business, a female business, and a black owned business. Ordered them on January 26th. Still, they're like, "Oh, we got your order. It's going to be shipped out." They've never been shipped out. I don't know what happened. I've emailed her twice. I've disputed the charge and my heart is broken because I really really wanted to support her, but so I ended up just ordering some off of Amazon and I quite like them. I know, Debbie. I know. I know. There's she says, "What? Wait, I can't wear a bonnet because I'm white." Get the fuck out. There's a whole online debate about it, and I had no idea. But I was like, my hair, I sleep on the right side of my head a lot because of my spine. And like, I always get this like really frizzy part in my hair because of it. And I was like, I need to do something. So I started researching and I was like, oh shit, I should just be wearing like a bonnet when I sleep. And then I fell into the whole rabbit hole of this like it's a hotly debated topic. And I'm like, oh, I just I just don't want my hair to look jacked. I just don't want my hair to look bad. Like I'm putting all this time and effort into growing it out. Yeah, it's a whole thing. I had no idea. How often do we see this? How often are we seeing this right now? Right? And I'm just presenting this as a neutral party right now, right? Like I said, I am a BIRB unto myself. I'm not for or against anyone at this point. I'm just here. I'm just in my corner with my Winston and my latte, just talking on the internet with some people. That's all. How much are we seeing this right now? Sam's right. No, Belinda's right. No, this person's right. This person's wrong. And the their chats, these groups of people are like it's like a wave of just, and like the individual community members are going after each other online and did it and like I said, I see wrong and right on both sides. I see good and bad on both sides. There's also this weird expectation of like we've all lived lives. Some we've all fucked up to some degree. Some of those degrees may be lesser, some of those degrees may be more severe. We've all fallen. We've all had to pick ourselves back up. We've all gone through dark times and great times. Why all of a sudden, and this is, I know there's exceptions to things, but why all of a sudden, like, is it fashionable to dox somebody and pull up all their like shit and their family shit and be like, oh, look what they did. Look what they did. Yeah, we're all human. We've all lived lives. I don't there are some things like, hello, Chantal, you don't go to prison for self defense. If it's truly self defense, you don't go to prison for that. If God forbid, I ever had to pull my sidearm and defend myself, life or death, I would not go to prison for that. So, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Like that's different than like, oh, so and so got a speeding ticket or so and so even has a couple of misdemeanors or felonies or whatever. Okay. I'm just, okay. You know, oh, in bankruptcy. And guess what? After 2007 and 2020, I know a lot of people with fucking bankruptcies, man. A lot of fucking people. In this economy, but the point I'm trying to make is like, we all want to, you know, everybody in these groups want to sit here and have their own histories and their own pasts and throw their own labels out. Well, I have this. I'm this. I'll just use a few examples. I'm not targeting anybody. Please don't take it that way. You know, I'm autistic, I'm on the spectrum. I have anxiety. I'm this, I'm that, I'm the other thing. Your BIRB just found out she was Jewish a couple of weeks ago, like ethnically Jewish. We all want to throw up these labels, these things to say, I'm exempt or you can't touch me because of this. But then I should be sitting here being like, well, I'm physically disabled. So you can't talk about me. You can't pick on me. Fuck that. I get up here and run my mouth like everybody else. I'm fair game. Fuck shit and fair game are two different things. Right? So when creators get into it and then they start dragging up all this shit from on YouTube or people's past or whatever, and they're like, well, look at what so and so had this ticket and filed bankruptcy or did this, that, or the other thing. It's like, and I think as long as anything they have done is not within a certain realm of unacceptable things, which I'm sure we can all agree what those are. I'm like, and okay, and I don't get it. And I'm sure any one of those people in that crowd, in that group, would not want their pasts dug up and smeared online. What, for having an opinion? We've lost the plot. We've so why do you guys think I'm quiet so much? Why do you think I will tell you this? There's so much. There's so much. There's so much I don't fucking talk about. There's so much I don't fucking say. One, because I'm like, am I going to be adding anything constructive to said conversation at this point? Again, hey T girl, welcome in. Good to see you. Am I going to be adding anything to this? Or am I going to be echoing what 50 other people have said? And now I need to think of like, okay, now I'm saying it on my fucking YouTube channel. Is that going to bring me personally some sort of trouble? Put a target on my back? Have people coming after me? If so, is it worth it for me to open my mouth and say these things, particularly if I'm not adding anything to the conversation? Because then in turn, it brings it on to anyone that's in my chat, especially my regulars. Maybe I'm weird that I think about this shit. I don't know. You can ask the girls. You can ask Diff and Sarah K and Mick and Greek and Rad. I think about this. I talk about. I'm like, I don't know if I should say anything. Or a lot of times I'm just like, I'm not touching this. I'm like, I am not touching that. Not my battle to fight. Not my battle to fight. And again, I am not for or against anyone at this point. Everyone's out there doing your things. I'm just fucking observing. All right, so that's that. Tasha in the chat. Oh, you got gifted a membership, girl. Enjoy your membership. Yeah, Tasha says a lot of people don't want to hear different opinions in Gore World. They want you to shut up and listen to the creator, and you have to agree with the group or get kicked out. Very well said. And again, that's why from day one, you could go back and look at my streams, especially like my first spoopy streams. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and talk about aliens probing people or ghosts being real or not, and not allow people to come in and be like, I think you're crazy if you believe in aliens, or I don't think ghosts are real. And I've always been like, cool, tell me why. Like, I want to have a fucking conversation about it. I think it was Creek Native Girl, Tasha. Like, I want to have a conversation, and not just about that, but just like all the shit that goes on in Gore World and with Chantal and FFG and between other creators and whatnot. I want to have a conversation about it. I'm at the point I don't want to fucking get involved. And like, do we really need another channel, another creator that's throwing their hat in the ring, getting involved in it? No. I find it exhausting when it's just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It's like, I'm tired. Which is why I try to be a place where it's like, I'm like, okay, look at this from a different perspective. Let's look at this. Let's have a fucking intelligent conversation about things. Let's learn about these social interactions and whatnot. And let's take a break from all this shit. Like, I'm so excited to do Dulce Base. I have found a couple of Phil Schneider's lectures I can pull from on Rumble. Hopefully YouTube will be okay with it. I don't know why they're not on YouTube anymore. It's so strange to me because they used to be. And I'm trying to find some, like websitey type stuff to look up for background on what Dulce Base is, what is, and who Phil Schneider was. R.I.P. Yes, Bamboozled. Bamboozled says, I love the term for me saying I love like cognitive dissonance. If you so prevalent to this space, the cognitive dissonance of people who readily believe in fantastical religious doctrine, but who absolutely know that ghosts and aliens don't exist. I know there's so much with that, and I'm gonna start talking about all of it again. But again, I will say I think the most important stream I've ever done on this channel was when I talked about the Tuskegee experiment, because the amount of people don't know about the Tuskegee experiment is shocking to me. What a fucking, that is my number one case for like, don't trust who you think you should trust, girl, but my most important stream. Like, if I had to pick one stream to stay on my channel, it would be that. Yep. See, and this is why I like to do this Broopy stream. Creek says I'm one of the few people who believes in both, meaning ghosts and aliens. Damn it. Amber says, like, I believe in God, but I also believe in ghosts. Well, we are eternal. Like, we are energy. We are spiritual energy beings. We'll talk about this more on Spoopy streams and members only streams. That's where I like to get real weird. So, I'm going to have this coming up. Yes, Debbie says different dimensions definitely exist. Alien, demon spirits, whatever. All about frequency and vibration. Debbie, on point, on cue. Hit the nail on the head, Debbie. Yes, thank you so much. I'm just going to put ham and beans up there. Let me queue up the next video. So this one's a little longer. But I am so excited because I found this lovely, amazing, adorable human being, and I love her so much. Did I watch her like nearly 2-hour video on Ariana Grande's discography? You bet I fucking did. Am I an Ariana Grande fan? Not necessarily. Am I a Madison Brown fan? Yes, I am. And that is this young girl's name. Her link is in my description. Absolutely go subscribe to her. She's so good. I love she the title of her video is Mob Mentality. And the thumbnail said bitches hate nuance. And I was like, oh, and I immediately fell in love with her. I would like to take her out for a latte and discuss about 50,000,001 different topics with her. She's fantastic. Her channel's fantastic. I'm so excited. If you don't know who she is, I'm so fucking excited to share her with you. She says so many things in this video that I get distracted because I'm trying to listen. Streaming isn't easy. It's not. Streaming is not easy. You've got to pay attention to the video, where it's at, collect your thoughts, react, interact with chat, do that, not lose your place, keep the flow. It's not easy, is it? It's not easy. All right. So I'm marking the timestamps down, Sarah Kate. I'm doing my best. I think I messed up on the first one, though. So I'm going to mark this one as Madison Brown. And I'll try to get the timestamps done within a couple hours. I know bitches hate Nuance. I love it. No, you're good. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of anything. Nope, I don't want the thing. Hello. StreamYards. If StreamYards could work. Exactly. Creek says Tuskegee happened about 2 hours from my house. I'm very aware of that. Ish F them. Yep. Yep. So I stumbled across this channel, and sometimes the YouTube algorithm just thank you, YouTube algorithm, for introducing me to Madison, because she's just freaking hilarious. And like I said, I watched a nearly 2-hour video on like her talking about Ariana Grande and all of like her music. I'm not an Ariana Grande fan. I don't dislike her. But I sat there and watched all 2 hours because Madison is that good. She's that freaking good. And so I watched this video of hers, and I'm like, she went into my head and said a lot of the things I wanted to say. And I appreciate that about her. Am I sharing? Yay, I'm sharing. She's got her channel is great. She's got varied topics. So, she talks about some like pop culture-y stuff and then some more serious topics like this. She is now at, what is it? She's at 476,000 subscribers because she starts out the video with I can't remember if she had hit like 100,000 or something. She's so freaking cute. So we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna speed her up a little bit through her intro, and then we'll slow her back down. But this is the video I really wanted to get to because I think what she says in this video can really apply to YouTube in general and Gore World as a whole, as far as like mob mentality and interactions, and if you say the wrong thing, and it's a lot. All right. So again, this is Madison Brown. Her video is linked in my description. Please make sure you go sub her up because she's just fantastic.
I need to address the 167,000-pound elephant in the room.
Oh.
And yeah, I hit 100K. The last time I uploaded a video, I'm pretty sure I was at like 80,000 subs. So yeah, a lot has changed. There's a lot of new people here. Hello, everybody.
She's so
if you're
cute.
new here, say what's up in the comments.
And this video, it says it's from 2 years ago, and she's so cute. Like, oh, I hit 100,000. You're almost at 500,000 now. Congratulations. Like, she's great. She deserves it.
You're new, and if you're a returning subscriber and you've been here for a minute, let me know when you subscribed. Like, what was the sub count at, if you remember when you subscribed? I'm curious. Thank you so much for being here. This is so crazy. It's still like not fully real to me. I feel like I don't know if it ever will be. One of my videos hit 1 million views, which is fucking nuts. I'm glad out of all the videos to go viral, it was that one, because I think it really did help some people, and I'm very glad to hear that. And I started YouTube less than a year ago, and I never would have expected something like this to happen. So I'm very happy, and it's a lot to take in, but it's very cool. So thank you for being here and listening to what I have to say. And like,
she is. Ham and Bean says she's pretty. She's gorgeous. She just like her energy. I think that's a big reason why I like her so much. Like, this is a perfect freeze frame. She's one of those people that you can just like, even through a video like this, you can feel her energy. You can feel her vibe. If you want to call it her charisma, whatever you want to call it. She is a positive magnet that pulls you in. And again, I've been binge watching her channel.
Believing in me and my message and yada yada yada. I feel like I'm giving like a Grammy speech or something. But once I get my plaque from YouTube, I will probably do some sort of video honoring said milestone, but I've yet to even get an email from them about that, so it's gonna have to wait for a while. Shit, by that time we might be at 200K, who knows? If you fuck with my content and you want to see more, subscribe to my Patreon. I have a whole podcast episode about YouTube.
Debbie, her name is Madisyn Brown. It's linked in my description if one of the mods wants to drop it. And T-Girl's back at the beginning. She says, what baffles me is when a certain creator will poke and poke, then is surprised when the person / people strikes back, or I would say pokes back. Sorry, I was watching the beginning. Nope. I absolutely agree with you. Again, I know throwing my hat in the ring with more drama and bullshit and stuff that's going on, talking about personal private things or just shit that's happened with people could probably get me a lot of views and clicks and, you know, a couple of coins and whatnot. I don't do it. I never fucking have. I've never been one. Oh, I've got to say something. I don't. No, if people want to come and hang out, and I've been this way from the beginning. Yeah, I've said things, I don't know, during controversial times, I guess, because I had something to say, because I felt a certain type of way about it. But I don't feel the need to keep talking about it. I have no horse in any race. You know, it's okay. It's like, all right. People can say and do what they want to say and do, but I think that's an excellent point, T-Girl. Yeah. You want to poke, and then the person you're poking is going to turn around and fire back. And I'm very much that way. I get pushed to my line. Won't say anything, won't do anything. I get pushed. Nope. Push. Poke. It's when I turn around and I'm like, now I'm done. And I am so pissed. I am calm, cool, and collected. And I'm like, hello, listen here. That's when you need to fucking worry about Raven. That's how I function, admittedly. Is it toxic? Maybe. I don't know. But I'm just like, I'm quiet until I'm not. And when I start talking, that's when you need to worry. If I'm being quiet, that's good.
YouTube and blowing up on YouTube and what that has been like for me. So if you're interested in that, hit me up on Patreon. There's a link in my bio.
Wait. Hold on, baby girl. Hold on. Oh, no. Gosh darn it. Ah, fuck. It said bitches hate Nuance.
And how it really like takes over internet culture and how it is shaping the young minds of today and not in a good way. There's this podcast that I really love called Bingetopia, and once they said bitches hate Nuance, like as a joke, but like literally so true. Like
Olap, how you doing? What up? Look, Olap, I'm a Jedi now. Look, because we're Jedis. Me and Olap are Jedis. Shout out Kent Winslet. Good to see you, sweetie.
Bitches really do hate Nuance. There's no room for gray areas. A lot of the opinions and discourse that I see online is very black and white. This or that, good or bad. When in reality, that's not really how the world works at all. But because we live in such a like divided society at the moment, especially in the States, it seems like you can only be on one side or the other. And if you have any sort of opinion that is slightly different or goes against your side or anything like that, then you're like executed or something via the internet.
Thank you. Thank Madison Brown, Miss Madison Brown. Thank you so much. If you're ever in the Reno area, I would love to buy you some emotional support tacos and a latte. This, you're either all on one side or all on the other. We're not allowed to be in the middle anymore, where it's like either I don't care, I'm not sure, I can see both sides of the pancake. Hey Linson Bun, how you doing? And there's nuance with so much, not only in Gore World, because again, humans are nuanced. Right? Everybody wants to take, well, so and so said this thing. They said these 5 words, crucify him, cancel him, whatever, or hold them up as some sort of holy saint. There's fuck shit on all sides, all around. There's right and wrong on both sides. I agree and disagree on both sides. I can watch 4 different creators all fighting in one day, and I will agree and disagree with various things each one of them says and does. Nuance. Strange. I know. I can't do this blind, and I never really have, just blindly supporting someone anymore. And please do not ever please don't do that with me. Please don't please don't ever blindly support me. Hey, Jack. Call me out. If you want to do it in chat, if you're in my Discord, Creek, if you want, you can drop a link to the Discord. Let's start letting people rejoin. Just know your YouTube name has to like be similar or match your Discord name. Like, Bob doesn't equal kitty boo boo fuck. Like, just have an idea of who you are. It's a fun open place. It's public. Okay. The FFG out here acting like we're planning for world domination in my Discord. No, we're not. No, we're not. Calm down. I'm very middle of the ground, Debbie. I'm a Libra. I'm very like, I can see both sides of the argument. But again, whether you're talking about somebody in Gore World or any current social issues or situations, there's no room for nuance. We're not allowed to sit here and be like, I don't understand, or I think that's wrong, or I can agree with this point, but I disagree with this half of the other half of this point. And I love her. I love her so much. Can we have some nuance? Again, what am I always saying? Can we pump the brakes and slow down and have a conversation? Crazy, I know.
AKA canceled, and it's honestly so dramatic and so extra for no reason, and we can't have any sort of real conversation that's going to get us anywhere if we're constantly attacking people for having a different opinion. So before we get into the rest of the video, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to...
And there's a difference between having a differing opinion and being hateful. Just because somebody doesn't agree with you and your opinion, your politics, your identity, your lack of an opinion, whatever the case may be, does not mean they are hateful and that they are any sort of an ist or a phobic. It just means they disagree. Or they're like, I'm not sure because I'm still learning. Or a lot of people are like, I don't care about that issue. I care about these 3 things. And having conversations, especially with people who quote unquote disagree with you, is very important. Educating each other on all various things. Do you know how many conversations I have with people? And they think I'm just being a fucking Karen bitching about my HOA, like, I don't know, clearing the snow from my front door to my handicap spot. And I'm like, but no, 1, it's a federal law. And 2, if I slip and fall, that could I could seriously get messed up. And this is why it's important. And there are other people with more severe mobility issues than me that also need their spaces cleared. And I speak up for them too. And like, it's a whole thing. And then people are like, oh, I didn't realize. I thought you were just being a bitch. And it's like, no, there's reason here. Like, my point being, like, can we have some conversations? Like, can we talk about stuff? Oh, Macburger, I took the message down because I figured I would get blocked. What, in my chat or? Oh, I didn't see what you said, Macburger. As long as you're not being racist, homophobic, you know, like, as long as you're not being blatantly hateful or transphobic or making like outrageous claims about somebody, you should be good.
Today's sponsor, Surfshark. Surfshark is a VPN service company that provides protection from surveillance and data mining so you can use the internet safely without using any of your personal data. Surfshark also lifts national limitations from this. Thank you again, Surfshark, for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get back to the scheduled programming. I think the art of civil discourse is completely gone. Being able to disagree with someone without it being like some sort of like a personal attack, it doesn't exist anymore. As someone who is online, I've noticed that a lot. I obviously am a very opinionated person, and I'm not afraid to speak my mind, and a lot of people don't like that, and I'm honestly fine with that because I think if you got haters, you're doing something right, so it's not a big deal. But I've noticed that people will automatically label me as some sort of thing or whatever just because I say something in a video or I make a joke or I just have an opinion that doesn't align with the perfect SJW liberal Twitter person that honestly doesn't know how to speak or think for themselves. So I think the reason why this mob mentality exists online is because the internet breeds that kind of behavior since it's so anonymous. In my video about being canceled on TikTok, I talk about that where, you know, I made such a stupid little TikTok about the Claremont twins. It was really honestly not that deep, but so many people came for me, like to the point where my account literally got suspended for like a month, and like people were like DMing me like death threats and like really like going crazy with it. It's not like
I don't know who the Claremont twins are. I will say I agree with her on this. And she's one of a couple of people that inspire me to, you know, I hold back a lot. I also don't want my channel to be like social and political and stuff like that. Like, we're here to talk about like hot messes and whatnots, and, you know, aliens probing people, are ghosts real, and, you know, Bigfoots and stuff like that. A lot of people, you're scared to share your opinion if it doesn't go with the majority, especially, and understand I'm middle of the road politically, right? But if I've seen, especially on Twitter and even on YouTube, if your view is like middle of the road, or God forbid conservative, it's, you get attacked, you get canceled. I follow a lot of varied accounts on Twitter, right? Some are very left leaning, some are very right leaning, some are straight down the middle. Because again, nuance, human psyche, and it makes me really, really sad. And I get it. It's the internet, it's Twitter, it's a cesspit. I understand. But even in real life, even here on YouTube, where we have more than 140 characters, quote unquote, to have a discussion, and you can do panels and stuff, it's very like, well, this is this and that's it. You know, you don't agree with X thing 100%. So you're this bad thing, I'm labeling you. Like, why do you think FFG labels me a gun-toting turf? Which, ma'am, the gun-toting, yeah, the turf part, where I'm still learning a lot about that. I have my opinions on things, but I'm still learning, and that's why I hold back, because I am still learning, because I'm being told on one side, oh, things aren't happening by one side, but then the other side is saying they are, and I'm like, what's the fucking truth about what's really going on? So until I inform myself correctly, I'm going to withhold on my opinion of it. Just like I don't understand the history and the nuance and complexity of, you know, Israel and Palestine, so I don't comment on it. But if I did understand it and I did comment on it, and I understand that's a very heated topic. There's a lot of heated topics out there in this day and age. Trust me, I know. Um it's and I get it. Again, it's the internet, but you disagree with people, you have even a heated civil discourse, but this like whole thing of again canceling people, going real life, people losing jobs, in some situations I will say it was warranted, like that woman in the park with the guy that was bird watching and she had her dog and she's like, oh like that woman just, get your shit together, ma'am. um I'm very careful about what I say because I don't want to like offend anybody or upset anybody. But I agree with this girl where it's like, yeah, it's people shouldn't be DMing people death threats or death wishes or like in the community here, it's like doxing people because you made me mad. You said something I didn't like. You went against me. I'm putting you on a list and I'm gonna, dox you and dig into your past. And it's like, do we really need to be doing this? Is personal beef content? I don't know.
I was telling someone to go friggin' unalive themselves or whatever. I got so much hate for it, and it was honestly beyond me because I'm like, what happened to just being like, huh, I didn't really agree with that, and then just scrolling, just continuing on with your life. I don't understand why people feel the need to assert themselves in such an aggressive way whenever they come across somebody who they don't know online who has a different opinion than them, especially if God forbid you have an opinion about their faith and it's not like you like praising them like they're God. I hate to be that guy who says, oh, everybody's so sensitive nowadays, but honestly, like, y'all need to get some thicker skin because Jesus, I imagine all these people online who get butthurt over the littlest things going out into the real world and just shattering to pieces when they realize that nobody cares about the shit that they care about online.
I was born with glass bones and paper skin. Every morning I break my legs, and every afternoon I break my arms.
I love her. I love her so much. Oh my God.
The real world is way more complex, and honestly, real people don't have time to complain about little things that, teenagers on TikTok complain about. And the more people concede to this culture of oversensitivity, the worse it gets because
Says lost my train of thought, but I meant to say the more people concede to this culture of oversensitivity, the worse it'll get. There's no exposure outside of the echo chamber. People will lose their minds over anything. It's like disciplining a child. If the kid is disobedient and you don't discipline them, they will only get worse. I agree with her so much because keep in mind, your BIRB is Gen X, right? I'm 45 years old. If I wanted to talk to somebody, I either had to call their house, and more than likely, their older brother I had a crush on, or their mom or their dad. Usually the mom was sweet and the dad intimidated me a little bit, was going to answer. And I'd have to be like, hi, it's Raven. Can I talk to so and so? Or I know we'd have to walk our fat asses down to their house and knock on the door and be like, can Bobby come out and play? And we spent the whole day running around outside, unattended, no cell phones, unsupervised. We had half of a stale Pop Tart, hose water, uh, 1/3 of a cigarette left, and if we were lucky, a warm bologna sandwich and some Kool-Aid. We survived. I grew up in a time. Do you know? And I'm Polish and German. Do you know how many Polak jokes I heard growing up? How my friends would be like, "Oh, you know, call me and my I'll get me and my family to come over later if you need to change a light bulb or something." And like we joked around about it. I don't do that now because like, you know, it's because you can't, because it's not allowed, because everything is offensive. And, and that's why I'm always asking, wherever it's concerned. If everything is labeled as such, then nothing is. And that's where things get mixed up. Like if somebody threw a Polish joke at me or Polak, I say that as a Polish person. You know, keep in mind my grandfather had to walk through an Irish neighborhood walking to and from school in the 40s and would get his ass kicked, beat up because he was Polish. So, you know, there's that. Wait, what, Macburger, what you saying? Oh, Macburger, fully agreed. Macburger says, I know FFG is no saint. I'm aware of that, but Foodie is no saint either. This is not a Foodie Beauty Stan channel, sweetie. I know. I've watched Chantel for years. No, Chantel is not a good person. And again, I'll say this again, little side thing. Just because I'm sitting up here criticizing FFG and calling her out on her BS does not mean I'm not doing the same thing with Chantel. Does not mean Chantel is magically a good person. Please understand that. I can criticize both of them at the same time. So, well, you're welcome to say your piece, Macburger. Just, everyone's cool here. Everyone's welcome here. But yeah, just in general, like, this is not a Chantel Stan channel. It's also not a Chantel hate channel. It's also not an FFG hate channel. We talk about everyone and everything here. So, yeah, sensitivity is a big thing right now. And I think people have lost the ability, or they know it's like that girl that went into Target, she could have gone to the manager and been like, hey, can me and my friends film this TikTok? There's like 15 of us and we're going to be dancing and whatever. Target is a private company that has their policies and you're disrupting business. Didn't ask for permission, wasn't respectful, just went in there with all of her friends and was filming. And when the manager was like, you can't do that, you need to go, she cried that the manager was being racist, and people were like, he's not being racist. You're disrupting business. You're going against their store policies because Target is a private company. No, remember, we all remember no shoes, no shirt, no service, and then no mask. You have to respect the rules and the policies of the private business you are going into, whether it's Target or a little mom and pop pizza shop. But people want to throw up labels and get overly sensitive about other things and have meltdowns on social media. And I'm like, I don't understand this. Life is difficult. The world is a scary place. Why do you think I'm always saying find the good ones, find the good people, hold on to them, nurture yourselves, them, and your relationships? Like, everyone's too fucking oversensitive, and I'm just about to the point I can't handle it anymore.
People are really out here being silenced because they're afraid of being canceled.
Were you silent or were you silenced?
And to me, that's censorship. When you are so afraid of people attacking you for having a lukewarm take, you're being censored. And I'm pretty sure most liberals don't believe in censorship. So I think it's kind of ironic how the mob that exists online is forcing people into this one-track minded, like narrow way of thinking. Liberals will claim to be open-minded and care about human rights, but at the same time, they will attack anybody who doesn't follow like the social media guidebook when it comes to social and political beliefs. To me, internet liberals and conservatives are two sides of the same coin. They're both extremely close-minded and aggressive and unwilling to hear out a different opinion. Either you believe this or you're wrong and you're a bad person. I feel like that's very common within like the liberal space. Is like, if you don't believe this, then you're a bad person. You're racist, homophobic, ableist, whatever. When it's not that simple. If we continue to attack people for just speaking their minds, we're never going to get anywhere. Liberals are all progressive, but where is the progression if we're not actually having conversations? And I feel like a lot of these people.
Conversation is so important. Disagreement is so important. But being able to hear an opposing viewpoint to your own is so important. I'm a gun owner, right? I'm a gun owner. However, I don't believe in constitutional carry, which is what Indiana has, where you can just go buy a gun and you don't need a permit. And I am for background checks. I am for waiting periods. I think if it's the first firearm you've purchased, you should have to take a training class where you are shown how to specifically handle your firearm, load it, unload it, clean it, holster it. You know, you like for my CCW, I can't just conceal carry like Indiana can. I had to take a course and I had to pass an FBI level background check, which is kind of nice because if I wanted to go to my gun range right now and, you know, purchase another 9mm, I don't have to wait because I have that CCW. Where, you know, if somebody else wanted to that didn't, they'd have to wait the 3 days for the background check. I'm not extreme on any side, but also it's, you can't, and I agree with her. I agree with her, whether it's liberal or conservative, whether it's, you know, Team Sam and Yaba or, you know, Team Belinda. Conversations, discourse, and understand no matter what the sphere is in any case and situation, every argument, every topic, every person, every scenario, there's good and bad of each, there's right and wrong of each. This mentality of like, you've got to agree 100% with this person or this topic, or you're wrong and you're a piece of shit and we're going to destroy you and we're going to cancel you. And that's why I love her thumbnail. Bitches hate nuance. Bitches hate nuance. So please, I say this to encourage everybody. You don't have to waver from your views, but understand, like, we need some more logical thinking in this. There's a reason. Well, laws should not be made based on emotion. Laws are made based on, like, quote unquote logic, right? Emotions come and go. Emotions are wrong. Emotions are extreme. Emotions can be cray sometimes. Like, this all or nothing mentality is not good for us as individuals and as a society. I miss really talking to people. I do. I miss on like, there's still people on like a one-on-one scale, but just like being able to have real conversation, like conversations without fear of getting canceled, which I'm sure I have said or will say something. Someone's going to clip in this stream and be like, oh my God, look what Raven said. They've done it before. I'm sure they'll do it again.
Online, they just regurgitate shit that they read on Twitter or heard on TikTok, and they don't actually understand what it is that they're saying. But because it's fed to them as like this right opinion, as this opinion that is for those who care about people, then they should just go along with it blindly and not question it at all. To me, like, liberalism is about caring about human rights and like the well-being of people. But how are liberals going to claim to care about people when they literally bully people online for the dumbest shit, literally attacking people? And that's something I've noticed a lot on TikTok. I don't have Twitter. I'm sure it's very similar over there because I deleted Twitter back in like 2015 for a reason. You could go on TikTok and watch a video of a cat and someone would have something to say about it. They're like, you're petting your cat wrong, you're an animal
Yes.
abuser, you need to go to jail. Actually, the shape of your thighs is really triggering to me, and you should really put a trigger warning on your OOTD because you're body checking. I think a lot of people put all this blame.
She's not wrong. I see this shit everywhere with everything. She's not wrong. Like the pendulum has swung too far left. It needs to come back to the middle a little bit more. She's not wrong. Everything is triggering, everything is wrong. And again, I'm like, be who you want to be, but understand not everyone's going to understand it. Not everyone's going to agree with it. Not everyone's going to like it. And that's okay. I very much see this like everyone has to accept me and like me and, forcing yourself and who and how you are onto other people. You can't do that. That doesn't work. People don't like that. Would you want someone who is opposite of you, whatever that may be, whatever that may look like? Would you want them forcing their identity and their ideologies and their opinions onto you and saying you have to think and feel and agree, and if you don't, you're a piece of shit and I'm going to ruin your life? Surely not. So let's not do it to other people. Not everyone's going to like you, and that's okay. And I had a friend tell me that a couple of weeks ago, and when I tell you I was in a place where I needed to hear that, and thank you so much to this person, because they just said a few sentences to me, but I wasn't doing so hot, and I really needed to see it. I really needed to hear, like, yeah, not everyone's gonna like you, and that's okay. And why do you care? Why do you care if you know who and how you are? And I was like, bitch, you're right. Thank you so much.
Blame onto these content creators without looking inward and thinking, perhaps maybe I should fix the way that I use the internet, or I should, choose to follow different people, or maybe keep my thoughts to myself and just keep scrolling. Like, I'd say any normal person does that. Like, if they see something they don't agree with, they'll just be like, yeah, okay, whatever, next. But it takes a certain special kind of human being to not only think something so delusional, but to also type it out with their fingers and click send with the intention of said creator seeing it. Psychotic. I mean, I get paragraphs from people who apparently don't like my content, but I'm like, but you're literally DMing me and commenting on every single one of my videos and pulling up to every single live stream. Like, sounds like you're a fan, babe. I don't know what to tell you. It's just this odd obsession that people have with.
I love her. I love her. I love her so fucking much. She's just like, it sounds like you're a fan, babe. Yeah, and it's true. It's true. Am I watching Sam's streams? You bet I am. Yaba's too fucking early for me. I haven't watched her in a long time. I'm still watching everybody's streams because I'm at the point I'm an observer. I'm observing everybody because I'm just like, I took a big step back, got removed from the lunch table. I was like, ooh, let me take a big step back and take inventory of all this. And it's whatever. And now we're up high, and like I said, we're up in the Birb's Nest, and we got some tacos and some lattes and a Winston and our cozy blankies, and we're just sitting here observing it and talking and having a little kiki, and it's great. And thank you so much for being here. But I love her so much. She's right. She's right. And you guys are right too. I see, everyone's triggered over every fucking thing. It's like there are some people I found it's very difficult for me to have like an honest conversation with them because the person I'm talking to is one of those people that no matter what they're saying or talking about, they have to throw up all the disclaimers. They have to identify any possible group that could be included because heaven forbid someone isn't, acknowledge it's too social. Like, I guess it's too socially correct for me. And I'm like, it's fucking exhausting. It's exhausting. Because there's no way to include everyone and everything and every disclaimer and every fucking trigger warning and correct and whatever. It's like, can we calm down? Can we calm down and just know 90% of most people's intent is not to offend or trigger. People are just talking and we're all doing our best to be considerate of each other. There's also a point where you're considerate of somebody and then you start going into this area of, are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? Like, and that's where I'm going to stop myself because, ugh.
Like seeming right, even if it's in the TikTok comments, like, which honestly, what is that really doing? You know, I think people think they're like activists or something just for yelling at people online. I hate to break it to you, but it's really not giving what you thought it was supposed to give. If that's your version of activism and doing your part, then you're just as bad as any other complacent asshole. You should really reevaluate your whole life because it's not doing shit. And you know, I'm sure some of y'all already know how I feel about like Instagram activism. I think it's bullshit. It doesn't mean anything because I've met so many people who partake in said social media activism, but in real life, they're like the most ignorant people I've ever met. And they actually don't consume what it is that they like repost. They just
actually do your research on things. Actually do your research. I was having a conversation with somebody and I brought up a topic and I was like, I'm okay with this, but not this. And I was told, oh, they're not doing that. That's not happening anywhere. Okay, if this thing isn't happening anywhere, then why are laws being passed to make sure it doesn't happen? Are you doing research that you know this thing isn't happening, or are you just following the majority's narrative that no, this thing is not happening, when no, in fact it fucking is? Do your own independent research, and I mean as much outside of the mainstream media as you can. Try and go to like reputable websites, sources, and even understand certain places, um medical organizations, hospitals, stuff like that. They're not always telling the fucking truth. And this is where I need to stop talking so my stream doesn't get taken down. And I need to get over and start streaming on Rumble to talk about this stuff cuz woo, y'all, the shit that's coming out.
repost it so it looks good because the infographic is aesthetic or whatever, and they know it'll make them look good, but they don't actually do the work. They don't do the reading. They don't show up to class. They just pretend like they know what the fuck they're talking about. It's just a bunch of rebels without a cause. And I honestly can't even say rebels because they're not. They want to be, but they're not. Critical thinking skills is truly like lost upon this generation, and it's fucking sad. Critical thinking is how you progress. It's how you form your own opinions and actually live up to those beliefs. I feel like we've been taught to take everything we see online as verbatim when it comes to discussions.
If you want to drop it, if you have it handy creek, you can drop my Rumble. Again, I need to figure out, that's where I'm gonna talk about some stuff that's gonna get me in trouble. And it's, but again, and I want to have conversations with people, you know, because there's one group of people that's saying, oh, this thing isn't happening, this thing isn't being done to kids, but then I'm seeing things that are telling me otherwise and laws being passed in different states and countries, and I'm like, what is happening? And it's concerning, and I want to find out what the truth is, and I want to have a conversation about it, but YouTube's not the best place.
About like politics or social issues when it really shouldn't be that way. I just wish people could be a bit more objective and stop arguing and stop debating with their heart on their sleeves. This doesn't require all this like emotional labor. Like so many people lead with their emotions and they don't actually use their fucking brain and think critically.
Stop. Your emotions are not facts. I understand there are emotions behind certain topics. Like I'm very passionate. I get very emotional when it comes to the topic of proper pain management for chronic pain patients, terminally ill patients, and acute pain patients. There is no reason an 86-year-old woman who just had both hips replaced should be left crying in pain in the hospital because her doctor won't give her anything stronger than a leave. Because pain med's bad. Where's all the mainstream media coverage about long-term, stable, terminal? I mean, if you're terminal, you're only going to be like long-term for so long, let's be honest. But if you're 2 weeks out dying of cancer, your pain should be properly medicated. Guess what? It's not happening. If you've been stable for 10, 15, 20 years, you shouldn't just be pulled off your meds. If you're responsible, you're stable, and they provide you a quality of life. But it's happening because pain med's bad, and those people are unaliving themselves. A disability lawyer that I was friendly with on X unalived herself 3 years ago now because she couldn't get proper pain management as a disability attorney. No one's talking about that. So yeah, I get very emotional and upset because that's like a very important topic to me, that people that legitimately need these medications or provided them are veterans, had 3 limbs blown off. But it's like, whatever. Again, with everything, I don't care if it's aliens probing people. I don't care if it's a social issue. Talk to people, especially on all sides of the fence that have that lived experience. Search out independent resources. Don't follow go outside of mainstream media because
critically and have an objective viewpoint. And I get it, like a lot of these matters are very emotional. Obviously, like talking about things like feminism or racism is going to get you emotional. I get emotional when I think about that stuff, but at the same time, you got to fucking use your brain and think. Like, we're not children, okay? I mean, honestly, some of these kids on TikTok, they are actual children. But the reason I started YouTube was because I noticed that a lot of commentary channels all say the same thing. They all have the same opinion. And I got bored. I'm like, okay, so is nobody going to actually like say the truth, or what I deem as the truth? Obviously, we have our own perspectives, but I just felt like no one was really speaking their mind. They were just going along with what everybody else was saying.
Yeah, that happens a lot across all social media with all aspects. Shadow hair, quote, there is a list. Thank you for your comment. I just want to put it out there. Things don't need to be happening for laws to be made for against things. Prohibition of herbal recreation meds, for example. Yeah, true. Absolutely true. Thank you so much for bringing up that point. Absolutely true. And I hope you are doing well. Drella says severe chronic pain has a tremendous effect on mental health over the long term. This is known. People shouldn't have to suffer. Yeah. I've been with my doctor for 18 years. I'm stable. Like, same pharmacy for years. They laugh at me because I'll call my shit in and then I'll forget to go pick it up till the next day. And they're like, so many other people are beating the door down, and here I come strolling in like, hey, I forgot. And they're like, you're weird. I'm like, I know, but responsible, when you're responsible. And yeah, not everyone reacts well to look. I could sit here and drink every day and I'm fine. Mom can't do that shit. Each person, certain substances are going to hit people different. I can take my pain meds, I'm fine. Other people, they can't do that. It hits them different. Their biochemistry, if it's something in the brain, they don't do well. So I also understand people have struggled with, pain meds, and they deserve help and recovery just as much as someone in chronic pain, and neither group should be stigmatized for it. That's my thought. Let's stop stigmatizing people for things and start supporting people instead of being like, oh, so and so had, this drug habit. Are they sober? Yeah. They're in recovery. let's celebrate that. Was, you know, I have a friend who for years refused to take medication for his bipolar. Got with an amazing girl. He finally started going to therapy, taking his medication as he should. He's blossomed, he's bloomed, and I focus on that part and not the like years of his, I call it his big mess. I'm like, let's focus on and celebrate the good things,
And like, I really, really hate YouTuber disclaimers. Like, even I've done them before.
She's throwing up various disclaimers. Oh my god. Disclaimer, I was catcalled once, so I understand oppression. She's being sarcastic, she's being facetious. Yeah, the constant, like, I'll do trigger warnings for flashing lights, DV, SA, like the big ones, but I will say this. The world has gotten more sensitive to people's stuff, right? But this constant expectation of like the world and everyone we interact with has to adjust to us and our needs and our issues. You need to ball that up and throw it out the fucking window, because that's not how life in the world works. People should not be overtly rude, mean, disrespectful, but also the world is not your safe place. It is not your echo chamber, and neither is the internet. So, like, be responsible for yourself and be respectful towards others. There you go. Oh my god. I had a fucking solid thought. Be responsible for yourself, your feelings, what you say, all your shit, and be respectful towards others. I'll put that shit on a t-shirt. Oh my god, I'm so smart.
They're so annoying. It's like, dude, just say what you have to say. People are gonna have a problem with it regardless, so you might as well just say it with your chest and not give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, people don't want to hear it. If they want to disagree with you, if they want to get mad at you, they will. I mean, even I remember once I was like, oh, and just because I'm saying this, it doesn't mean XYZ.
That I can't do anything about the audio, guys. That's on her video. If I would, I could. So I do apologize. Yeah, her music is like way louder than the rest of it. I'm sorry. I did notice that if I could fix it, I would. And I think what she's saying is very important. So I think we can deal with a little bit of wonkiness.
And people in the comments were still like, actually, no, because blah, 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 blah. It's like, you can never fucking win. So you might as well just talk your shit and take on whatever trolls that come your way. Because that's just a part of being on the internet, honestly. I knew me coming on this platform would cause people to get triggered and to probably hate me because they don't agree with what I have to say, and whatever it is that I say triggers them. But like, that's honestly fine with me, because you know what? If your opinion is so boring and dry that nobody disagrees or nobody feels some type of way about it, then like, what's the point? The opposite of love is not hate, it's apathy. So I know that regardless, like, my content is making people actually think and feel, and that's a good thing. Obviously, I don't enjoy seeing hate comments. I try to avoid them at all costs, and like, am never out here trying to outwardly offend anybody or hurt anybody's feelings. But I can't control how people feel after my videos. I can't control what people think of me. You know what they say, what others think of you is none of your business. And like, if I know in my heart I wasn't trying to cause any harm and I actually wasn't, like, I'm not going to give in to internet trolls, because so many influencers.
Yes, Desiree, I agree with you. No one on the internet is going to care about your trauma or be kind. That's how people are nowadays. Yeah. And, truth be told, if you want to come on the internet, on YouTube or Twitter or TikTok, or, and especially float around in certain YouTube communities, I try to be respectful. Like, if somebody's like, oh, I have a history of severe DV, right? If I like see them say it in a chat, or especially if we're talking more one-on-one, I try to be respectful of that because of the context it was shared in. Like, it's more personal. But I've also seen that same person be in like a chat with, in a different community, and there'll be 3,000 people in chat, and one person makes a shitty, snarky troll comment about DV, and they've lost their shit over it and like went into a 3-day spiral. And I'm like, then you shouldn't be on the internet. I'm not saying what that person said wasn't right. It's also the fucking internet. That's the new saying here. Take responsibility for yourself and try and be respectful towards others. Yes, I agree with you. Bam. I'm so glad you're here today. I miss you so much. Bambooble says, I go by that classic axiom. Fuck your feelings. I try to be respectful and nice and understanding of everybody, but there are certain areas where I'm just like, I can't be bothered. I don't want to be bothered with it. And then there's a certain area it gets into where I'm just like, that's a bit much. I'm gonna go sit over here now. But I'm not gonna sit there and like verbally attack the person in a chat or on Twitter. Like, I'm very much like, I don't engage. I just take my latte and go sit somewhere else.
And YouTubers will like give some half-assed apology that they don't actually mean, but because they're afraid of being canceled or they're afraid of the mob, that they just give in right away. But I think that's why my channel is so successful, is because I speak my opinion unapologetically, and I say the things that other people are too afraid to say. And I've heard that from you guys, like in my DMs or my comments, like, wow, I thought this for so long, but I was too afraid of being judged to say it. So that's why I make videos. And I hope that more people in the commentary space, or just the internet in general.
I'm so glad to see, because I assume she's between like 20 and 25, that at such a young age, she is realizing all of this, and she's expressing herself. She's finding her voice. She's very respectful, very well spoken. Like I said, she said a lot of things I don't always articulate, and I'm like, because I'm me and the ADHD and all that stuff. So yes, parasocial, you're not wrong. Parasocial says triggers are personal. Exactly, they're personal. And that's why when I'm, if something of a more general magnitude, DV, SA, medical trauma, a lot of people have medical trauma. That's a whole big thing. I, as the creator, try to be as respectful as I can. It's ultimately each person's responsibility. I have a history of SA. It's, if I'm going to watch a stream or a video talking about a true crime case where, that's involved, or something that, or there's like animal abuse involved, I appreciate the person telling me like, these things are discussed in this. But it's my responsibility as the person with the trauma, with the trigger, with the issue, to remove myself. It's not everyone else's job to insulate other people. It's my job to know what I can handle and what I'm okay with. And if it's too much for me, I need to remove myself, It's not. Bamboozled, you're fucked. Bamboozle says, what if my trigger is people who are too easily triggered? Bam, you got to give me your router, sweetie. Give me your root. Give me your root. I love you, Bam. Oh my God, Bam's the best. But yeah. And again, you need to take responsibility for yourself, but we can all be respectful towards other people. And this is the internet. We don't know who anyone is behind these screen names. We don't know. We don't know histories or identifying characteristics, mutable, immutable characteristics, right? Unless that person, some people share it in their PFP and because everyone's got to know. Everyone's got to know. Which, if that's your whole personality, I also advise you to sign off the fucking internet.
General, I hope that it becomes more common that people can openly say what they want and like just say with their chest and not give a fuck. I don't think what I'm doing is particularly brave, but I know that a lot of people are not willing to say their authentic, raw opinion online because they're afraid of what other people will think.
Yeah.
And I find the fact that YouTubers who don't actually like say their opinion or like tiptoe around shit, I find it to be incredibly inauthentic. I don't find it to be endearing or like empathetic whatsoever, because it's not actually coming from a place of empathy. It's coming from a place of fear because they're afraid of what others will say. And I don't think that's incredibly admirable. You don't have to give every unpopular opinion that you've ever had, but just be real. Just be honest. Like, that's what people want. That's what people want to hear, especially now because we're surrounded by so much bullshit and so many people are fed up with this whole mob mentality, cancel culture shit, that when they actually hear somebody who is honest and isn't afraid to speak their mind, it's like a breath of fresh fucking air. Along with becoming less sensitive, I also think that we need to.
I agree. And this is where I want to lead this into like Gore World in particular, right? And the whole divide of communities. I'm team this person, I'm team that person. So and so is a piece of shit because they had this issue in the past, or, you know, they've got a history of addiction and misdemeanors, and then, you know, but then they want to hold somebody else up in esteem. And it's like, no, you know what? Like, again, there's right and wrong everywhere with every person, at least in my opinion. I don't think any one person is better than anybody else right now from what I'm seeing and hearing. I think they're all a little bit wrong and I think they're all a little bit right. And even like, just as an example, when I was, you know, over at Yaba's or even Sam's for, you know, that little bit, when shit would pop off and they would start going at it, I went quiet. I didn't talk and chat. I was like, I stepped out from the mob and went and sat in the corner with my latte. I've never been one for that. Yeah, I gave my thoughts and opinions after the 5-hour Belinda stream around, you know, after the interview. But even then, you can go back and I'm like, 20% of this is Belinda. I'm like, the 80% of this for me was the way Sam was coming off and the manipulation and the psychology of it that I very easily saw through and picked up on because I grew up with that shit. And I even say it in that stream, it's still there. It's the one Ghosts of Christmas Past or something, where I went back and I rewatched the Hog stream because I wanted to know what the fuck I was talking about. And I'm interested to see your opinions. And again, we can talk about this more in depth and we'll do a members only stream like late tomorrow afternoon or night. We'll see who's streaming and when and what I've got going on. But I'd like to continue this conversation and apply all of this, like specifically to Gore World and everything that's going on right now with all the infighting and everybody going back and forth. And there are valid issues and concerns there, 100%. I think there comes a point where on both sides, or you need to stop fucking engaging with each other, because it goes to a place where it's like, wow, really, this is what we're doing? And it's tiring and it's a bit much. And this is why I've been hiding in my newfound corner of YouTube and watching makeup videos, and because I'm like, I'm fucking exhausted. I'm exhausted. But and this is why I have my own community. I have mixed community. That's about it. I'm not gonna go with this, that, or the other thing anymore. Nope. I'm sitting in my corner by my fucking self, and I was indirectly told to do so anyway, so I'm being a good burb. Leave me alone.
Put less weight on celebrities and influencers and YouTubers because they're just fucking people. And so many people online hold these public figures to such a high standard, and they're so worried about what Billie Eilish is doing that they don't even pay attention to what the people in their real life are doing. The work starts at home, sis. Billie Eilish doesn't give a fuck about what you have to say about her on Twitter. But if your bestie is waving around a Confederate flag, where are the fucking priorities? Like, I literally have a video about that. And like, I feel like most of the people who watched that video disagreed with me. And I still believe that I am right. Like, I get that, you know, these people have influence, so they're influencing people And like I get it. I believe that you should use your platform for good. But I think we should just like put less weight and importance on celebrities in general. But I don't know if that's
Even when I was like a teenager or kid growing up, and it's still every election year, it's like, well, this celebrity is endorsing this person. Listen, I love Robert Downey Jr. Congratulations on your Oscar. I remember when he was smoking crack, waking up in some random family's home. Do we remember that? Again, I'm a child of the 80s and a teen of the 90s. Gen Alpha is the youngest generation right now, Buzztrick. They're the young one. They're like the 10-year-olds going into Sephora fucking everything up. That's Gen Alpha. Ugh. This is what happens when everyone gets a participation trophy. I'm just saying. And I'm going to do in my day, yeah, when I was growing up, one team won. And it sucked and you were bummed out. But you know what? It taught you sportsmanship, taught you coping skills. Do we have coping skills have left the building? Again, it's like this mentality of it's everyone else's job, it's society's job, it's your coworker's job, or people online, their responsibility to regulate your emotions and your safe space. No. Also, don't go out and be rude, and don't truly be any sort of ist or phobic. But then in there, again, nuance, we need to differentiate between what is truly a phobic or an ist and someone's just disagreeing with you or is just, having a civil discourse to bring up an opposing viewpoint or posing a question to make you look at things a different way. Or my favorite thing is in certain circles, when you ask a valid question and challenge their beliefs and ask for facts and reasons, you either get blocked or they legit scream at you as their response. It's fucking hysterical.
that's gonna happen anytime soon. So many people say, I don't agree with everything you say. You're like, thanks for letting me know. Like, I just kind of assumed that. Like, wow, like, congrats, man.
Nikki B, you're not wrong. She says, the same generation who bitched about participation trophies were the ones who gave them to us. None of us little kids were asking for them at the time. LOL. You are absolutely right. I blame Gen X, the other half of Gen X. It's all their fault.
And you have some sort of critical thinking skills. Congratulations. I don't agree with everything my friends say or my family say, so why would I agree with everything that someone online says? Like, that doesn't make any sense. But that's the problem. Like, I think the internet has created this culture where it's like you have to agree with everything that someone says in order to support them. No, the fuck you don't. And like, I'm glad.
There's a few people, again, I'm not, with the exception of some larger creators that we're all watching. I'm not mentioning specific names, so don't ask publicly or in private. I'm not going to say who. There's a couple of people I see running around where their entire personality is their quote unquote identity. And I have seen them in chat after chat after chat after chat after thing on Twitter and all over YouTubes and stuff, where if you don't 100% agree, I'll phrase it this way. If you don't 100% agree that lemon meringue pie is the best pie in the entire world and it's perfect and there's nothing wrong with it, this particular person attacks you, labels you as ists and phobics, and it's a fucking lot. And I'm like, I know this person is like an extreme example, but everyone surrounding them who is not as intense as they are goes along with it. Oh, yeah, that person's this and that person's that. When no, that person actually isn't. And there's a difference between being, again, something like truly being racist or homophobic, as opposed to criticizing an individual on points that have nothing to do with those identifying factors, But those are thrown up as like, you're just being this thing. We're all imperfect. Every single one of us, in some way, on some level, can be criticized. Good, bad, or in between. And I find throwing up, and like I said, me. No one can criticize me because I'm disabled. And if you criticize me, you're being ableist. No. There are things, there's streams I knew going into it I wasn't going to handle perfectly. There was no malicious intent. And I was nervous and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And I tried my best, but I knew I would be open to valid criticism. Bullshit lies and manipulation of the narrative is different. 3 comments in a 2-hour stream is not over moderating my chat. Don't know where that came from, but okay. There's a difference between valid criticism and somebody throwing up a shield of some sort, whether that's a tragedy in their life or an identifying factor to deflect from that criticism, I guess it would be, and label valid criticism or even just some like internet fuckery and be like, oh, no. We need to separate the two. And please don't, like, I talk about being disabled and my body's broken. That's not my entire fucking personality. Like, there's so much more to me. There's so much more to all of us.
Glad that you don't agree with everything I say because it means you can like think for yourself. Like, I don't understand why that's such a like profound statement that people feel like they need to tell me all the time. I probably don't agree with everything I say. There are probably things I've said in past videos that I have a different perspective on now, and that's just a part of being a human being, which makes me honestly feel bad for any like super young person who blows up online or is super famous at a young age because their past is just going to follow them forever. And there's no room to grow or change because people view a person on the internet as this like non-changing being, and it's like you could make a video from like 2016 and someone today could watch that and assume that you still act and think that way when that's just not how humans are. But I just wish that our generation was empowered to think for ourselves and form our own opinions. And the best way to form
I love that she said that, especially because she is so young and I don't know what it's like to navigate. Dusty, bitch, show it. Show the screenshots, bitch. How you doing, Dusty? I'm so glad she said this because I don't know what it's like as a young person in my 20s to navigate through this world of online social media. Right? I turned 21 in 1999. Hashtag old. You know, I am fucking thankful cell phones and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube were not around in my teen years because, oh my God, the shit I would have put online. I was wild. I had issues. I can't imagine how fast and how much there is and what it's like to navigate through this space as your teens, your 20s. Like, I'm so glad I don't have to do it. But even myself at 45, I'm not the same person I was 6 months ago. My views and I'm different a year ago, let alone 2, 5 fucking, yeah, people change. People change. And I think it's ridiculous when people go, can we just stop? Oh, you said something about me. You've been going around in chats or your creator. I don't like you. I'm going to dig up all your old shit from shit you said 5 years ago. Yeah, there's shit on my Twitter where I went in on Chantal. I don't think I ever wished her death. I'm pretty sure I never wished death upon her. I was like, shit's gonna come back around on you. When she was being vile, like Cuba rage and shit, and pumped up kicks and all that. And who knows? Maybe I did at one time. Who knows? I'm sure somebody will go look and fucking dig it up if I did. And I'll be like, yeah. And I said that years ago, and I don't feel that way now. We need to allow that people change and that people grow and that your views change and your perspectives as things online move and change. And as we are experiencing our lives, None of us are static. Not one single one of us is static. We are constantly moving and growing and changing. Oh, that sounds kind of Tangled Bliss, how you doing? Thank you so much for becoming a baby bird. Please enjoy your custom emojis. Greek, I know. Heaven forbid any of us change our minds or whatever. Listen, I was never like anti-gun, but I was never like pro-gun either. That's totally changed. That's totally changed. Now I'm like pew pew out of my cold dead hands.
Form your own opinion is to surround yourself with a diverse digital diet. Watch things that maybe you think, I don't know if I'll agree with this, but it's a different perspective and maybe it'll help me solidify my own beliefs, or maybe it'll help me question the beliefs that I have already. That's like a healthy thing to do. People are stuck in this echo chamber where they only consume content that they know will align with what they already believe, and that doesn't really create a space for growth. I think it's important to
I love that she said that. I agree with you so much. Also, Dusty says, I had a talk with my boss tonight. You can evolve and change as a person, but don't ever change yourself for another person. I needed to hear that tonight. Dusty, big hugs. And yes, don't be yourself. Whoever loves you has got to love you for you and love you as you grow and change along the road of life. And I hope that happens for you. And I wish you all the best. All the best, Dusty. Sean Nova gifted 1 Raven Star membership. Oh, come back here, comment. Come back here. Show, thank you. Thank you for gifting a membership. For joining Tangled Bliss, Sean Nova. It went to Jack T. Welcome to Spoopy Burbs. And thank you, Bamboozled, for becoming a baby bird. Please enjoy your custom emojis. We've got some fun ones. My favorites are the Angry Rage Potato, the Raven Jedi, my Emotional Support Tacos, my Winston, my Jasper. And I might change up some of them. I know I talked about changing up some of them, but I couldn't get like a good one. I need to make one of them a latte. I think we might change out Nigs for a latte. I agree with so much of what Madisyn is saying. And yeah, what she says about again, I'm not a social political commentary channel. Those topics and issues do come up from time to time. It's inevitable, especially in this space. Again, people like to throw those things around sometimes, most of the time not justifiably, in my opinion. I don't like talking about that stuff on my channel, like in this sphere of talking about things, I think, it's appropriate. Even then, I'm not really one. I'm not going to sit here and share like all my political beliefs and opinions and whatnots, and because that's what I'm not here to do. That's not what my channel is. But if I wanted to share something on a certain topic of a certain mindset, or someone in my chat did and I agreed with them or disagreed, it would become a whole fucking thing, because again, the mob mentality of it all. And that goes for socio-political topics as well as all, like, again, this is all supposed to be relating back to YouTube and all the different creators and communities. I'm sorry, making a list of people that are never welcome back in your chat that people can buy, which is it's a targeted list. Whether you want to call it harassment or whatever, I don't know. Is that maybe a bit much? Yeah. But it's also a bit much to have fucking people's name on a list, sell it for profit, to be like, oh, there's so and so. Like, no, I fuck a list. I don't care about a list. Put me on whatever list. You know what? People are gonna do and say whatever they want to fucking do and say to me or about me. Like DC. Someone's telling DC I'm trying to get Nate's son taken away. What, ma'am? No. Absolutely not. I'm lucky to do my self-care and my laundry and take care of my house and my dogs. And I don't go IRL. I don't do that. People are going to say and do what they want to say and do. It's the mob mentality of it all. Oh, and the group think of it all. Getting in a little group with people. Oh, well, Raven was over there and, this person supported her and she was in so and so's chat. So it must be true. No, I am a BIRB unto myself. I'm sitting at the back table in the cafeteria with my couple of friends and people that want to come hang out, and that's it. That's it. I ain't trying to fuck with anybody. I'm not. I sign off and I'm done. I'm so far behind on FFG and everything because I haven't even been watching any of it because I needed the mental break. It's too much. It's too much. Like, and we all get swept up in things. Sean Nova, thank you for gifting another membership. Strange Buzz Trick, welcome to Spoopy Burbs. Yeah, something like that, Jarella. Yeah. Jarella says, if I see someone abusing a person or animal on stream, I would go IRL. Barring that, IRL is unethical. Yeah, I agree. I've never called a place. I've entertained an idea here or there because of concerning things. I don't do that. Thank you again, Sean Nova. I'm just like, no, if I don't care if I was flipping through YouTube and God forbid I saw on a stream a child or an animal get backhanded, that's fucking different. I would screen record that and I would report it to YouTube immediately because that's not okay. Hey Kayla hun, how you doing? Oh, anyone who is at the top conspiracy burb level, I've deleted it. Please make sure you change down to the spoopy burb level before I don't know if like your membership's going to run out or like how that's going to work, but if you would still like to keep your membership, please make sure you double check on that. Oh, Bamboozle blocked. Bamboo. Fuck you, man. Oh my God, Bam is the best. She fucking cracks me up. Bam says, be right back. Gonna go talk shit on Raven in another stream. Do it. And someone go follow her and take screenshots. I was so disappointed. I asked Brad Plaid because, FFG is like, Rad Plaid talked mad shit on Raven. And I was like, Rad, did you? Oh, please tell me what you said. Like, because I think it's funny because I don't care. Because I understand being in that groupthink and that mob mentality of it all and talking shit on people. I don't fucking care. And what's a fucking little shit talking amongst friends? Come on. Like, are we all taking this seriously? Like, Jesus Christ.
Talk to people who you won't always agree with or like just hear a different opinion. Because honestly, it gets kind of boring hearing the same shit over and over again, like I was saying before about commentary YouTube. And like if you're so afraid of speaking your opinion, like I don't know, just grow a backbone. I think you'll be okay. Like I really do. Even if people disagree with you and they come for you in the moment, like in the end it'll be okay because you know what? All this exists on this device, right? But the great thing about this physical material item is that you can put it down. You can turn it off and stand up with your human legs and walk outside the door and breathe air and touch grass and talk to real fucking people. And suddenly it doesn't really matter so much anymore because, oh right, this is real life, not this. And I think that's what a lot of people need to do more often is
you can tell those in the communities, because again, I've been all over YouTube lately, that are perpetually online. where there is not a minute in the day. I don't care if they're at work, if they're in school, if they have kids, if they're driving, if they're eating, if they're showering, shitting, or shaving. They've got at least one AirPod in, and they're watching, and they're getting clips, and they're getting screenshots. And what cracks me up the most are these people, and every community has them, where they are perpetually online all day, every day. They've got to know what's going on everywhere, who's saying what, who's streaming, who's talking, who's and they're archiving it, and they're following it, and their thumbs are going like they've got an opinion about everything every minute of the fucking day. I'm exhausted just talking about it. I'm like, you check my Twitter, I'm like, cute dog retweet, missing person retweet, funny meme retweet. You can tell the people that are perpetually online. But my favorite out of that group of people are the people that are perpetually online, and this is their whole life, but then they claim it's not their whole life. And like I got told on a snarky DM by somebody, of course I'm not going to say who, like, it's not that deep, it's not that serious. And I'm like, okay. But yet you say the wrong thing about them or someone they fuck with or whatever, and all hell breaks loose. Right? They're going to come for your neck. They're going to snatch your wig. They're going to kidnap your dog and dox your mother. But they're not perpetually online. This isn't their whole life, and it's not that deep. I don't understand. I can't. The girls will tell you how many times I'm like, I've been offline all day, or I was sleeping, or I was watching something else. Like, what the fuck is going on? And like, they've got it. Diff does it the most. Diff will be like, da, 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 and I'm like, what's happening? Like, my friends usually have to fill me in because I'm like, what the fuck is, I don't care. We shouldn't be caring this much. This is one of the reasons we all love Popey so much. I'm watching my stories. This is like soap operas mixed with reality TV, but it's tangible for the first time. We can get personal with it for the first time. Thank you so much for the super chat, Creek. Let me get up to it. The Creekin says, I need another clip of your impersonation of me so I can go talk shit on X. Raven, right? Wait, I can't get as high as your voice. Raven, don't you be going off the rails about no shit. I'll release the creaking on you. So bad. I'm going to have a DM from Creek after stream. She's going to be like, take my wrench. I don't want it. We're not friends anymore. But, oh. It's like, oh, welcome back, Chris Ryan. Welcome back, Kayla. Welcome back, everybody. But yeah, but yeah, I agree. I agree with our sweet Madison here, which, God, her channel is just fantastic. Again, I watched a 2-hour Ariana Grande video about her whole music discography thing. I don't even know the guy. I like Madison. She's great. But I agree with her. It's like, yeah, it is. And that's why I find, like, and again, I apologize for not streaming a lot in February, but seasonal depression, there was some stuff going on a couple of fronts that was very overwhelming to me, and I was very upset, and it very much negatively affected me. And February just sucked. And I didn't stream a lot because guess what? I'm not going to stream, and I'm going to deal with that shit quietly and privately and offline until I'm better. And then I'm going to come back on and keep pushing. And YouTube can go away tomorrow. There's still a bunch of people I would still talk to every day because they're legit my friends. Love you. You're responsible for your own ass online. Like, I love my friends, but if any of them start running around on some fuck shit, I'm going to be like, you're running around on some fuck shit. And I'm not just going to blindly support them and be like, how dare you talk about my friend? I'll be like, no, so and so's off the rails. It's messed up.
It's really like, just take a breather, take a breath, really think, does this matter? Is this really that important that I need to spend 20 minutes typing out a paragraph to this content creator
Thank
that's
you,
not even going
Jarella.
to read it? I mean, if it makes you feel better, go for it. But maybe just like do some breathing exercises. And you can always tell when people genuinely like don't talk to real people and like spend all day on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter, because the way that they talk and the way that they think is just so warped and so like spoon fed. It's like, yeah, you've never had an original thought a day in your life. Holy shit. I do think
The way I see this, not only with political, social issues or whatever, but when it comes to like like people in FFG's chats, I can just like look through her chat and pick out the people where I'm like, and I don't leave my house a lot. I'm home 95% of the time. Right? But I make it a point where, again, I'm not watching this. I go sit outside with Winston. He loves to bark at it. He loves to bark at a bitch walking by. You know, he lives for it. And I'm doing other stuff. I'm watching other things. I'm disconnecting from Gore World or the internet as a whole. More and more, I think we can all spot those people where it's like, yeah, this is all they do. So I'm not dogging on anybody if you don't leave your house a lot. I have mobility issues. I don't. Right? I have health issues, pain issues. There are some days I'm like, well, I can't go out because I feel like my left leg gave out twice today. You know, I don't want to be trying to go to the grocery store and fall, when I'm trying to get some yogurt. It's not worth it. So understand, I'm not dogging on anybody if you can't physically leave your home. Even if you can physically leave your home, that doesn't mean you're mentally leaving all of this behind. And some of you really need to start doing so because it's starting to fucking show. Don't ever. I don't care if it's a YouTube creator. I don't care what community they're in. I don't care if it's a celebrity, an influencer, a politician. Don't, even yourself, don't ever blindly 100%, no matter what, back somebody. Don't do it.
think there would be some sort of like pendulum swing and people will just be fed up with this shit and will go in the opposite direction, hopefully. Because that's kind of what happened before. Like, I feel like in the early 2000s and like 2010s, people were vicious, like just so fucked up, didn't give a fuck, no empathy found whatsoever. And then it kind of created this oversensitive culture where we're like, wow, it used to be so fucked up, we need to do better. And it's like, yeah, let's be more empathetic towards people, but at the same time, let's not attack people just because they have a fucking opinion. Yeah. I actually want to read a message that I got from.
I love that. I love that. We need to be more empathetic towards people. Like, I vividly remember the whole Britney thing. Like, I feel so fucking bad for her. Yeah, we need to be more empathetic towards people. But things have swung too far where now it's like we either attack and cancel everybody or overlook their bullshit because of whatever factor. We all have opinions and we're all not going to agree. You can agree with somebody on 80, 85, 70, 90% of an issue and disagree on the rest. And that's okay. As long as you and the person you're having a conversation with and disagreeing with are being respectful and cool with each other. It's okay.
I'm a subscriber on Instagram, and I think what she said perfectly encompasses why I made my channel in the first place. You have been an incredibly influential figure in my life. You challenged the way that I was taught to think about life. I am in school for journalism, and your perspective has helped me consume media and information in an unbiased way and has allowed me to learn how to draw my own conclusions. Also, I just want to thank you for using your time to spread your wisdom and help break normalized cycles of toxicity within our society. You will go down as one of the greats, which is like super fucking nice. Thank you. Yeah. Oh my God. And like, yeah, at the end of the day, I just want to help people become a bit more unbiased and like, just like be less reactive, man. Like, just, we live in such a
that's such a big issue in Gore World right now. Everyone is so reactive. in reactive. I think a lot of people are reactive in the sense of that like that knee-jerk reaction of where it's like instant, spontaneous. I got to fire up a stream and I got to take to my Twitter. It's, I've got to go to here and I've got to thumbs are going. Thumbs are going without reason. Tape your thumbs together. Put some oven mitts on. Calm down for a few minutes. Again, I've never done that shit even before my channel. I've never been one to take to my Twitter or go been running in these YouTube streets for 7 years. And you know what? I can say without a doubt, those individuals that I have been witness to, they have to express every thought, every opinion. They've got something to say about everyone and every fucking thing all day, every day. It has never turned out well for them. And it's great sometimes because people are cheering them on. They're getting, I don't know, some sort of recognition they apparently crave. But in the end, it never turns out well for them. It always comes back around on them in a negative sense. And Kayla, I gotta DM you because I would really like to have you up here because we're gonna continue this conversation in the members only stream, and you're one of the people I would like to have up on this because Kayla's a smart cookie, y'all. It's just I get certain people, certain topics, like we all have our buttons, like I said, chronic pain patients, animals, the elderly, just those of us that are disabled, because those affect, your hot button issues are going to be those you more likely have had some sort of personal experience with, right? And there's things I have no personal experience with because I didn't grow up like that. I haven't experienced those things for whatever reason. So I try to understand them and be respectful, but again, the world isn't there to insulate me and my feelings, nor is it for anybody else. That also doesn't mean you've got to be an asshole. And as far as Gore World is concerned, I'm seeing a lot of the same personality type over and over and over and over and over. Some people want to call it narcissistic. Some people want to call it borderline, bipolar. I don't know. Unless someone shares their diagnosis. And even then, they're still a person with feelings. And yeah, maybe their reaction is a little more intense than, say, somebody else. What I'm saying is, everything you say online, whether you're in a comment section, you're on Twitter, you're in a stream chat, you're streaming and running your mouth like I am right now, it's there forever. Once it's out there, it's out there. And people will go back and they will drudge it up, or they will take it and twist it to suit their fucking narrative, which really pisses me off.
Reactive culture, there's no time for thinking. It's just like go go go. Like, that's exhausting, dude. It's fucking exhausting. That's why I made my video why I stopped hating men, because I'm tired. I'm fucking tired.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Modern feminism is trash. Feminism started out as being like, women can be a CEO too. They should earn the same amount of money, and they can also be mothers, right? Just as like one little example. Feminism is not bashing men. It's not hating men. I love men. Men are willing to go out and do the dangerous, dirty, grimy jobs I don't want to do. I'm not physically capable of doing as a woman, even when I was able-bodied. And I thank the men for it. Men are just as important and needed in society as women are. We are different physiologically and emotionally, but yes, there should be equality in certain levels in certain areas. Feminism is not being a man hater. And all y'all young girls need to stop with that.
That's too damn bad.
I don't want to be on edge all the time. I just want to have fun and like relax and talk like a normal fucking person. So yeah, thanks again to today's sponsor, Surfshark. Link is in the description. And yeah, thank you again for 100,000 subscribers, man. Like that's it's crazy. I'm very excited to connect
She's so
with all the
cute.
newbies out there and just to continue to grow this channel and hopefully make the internet a more relaxed place.
I love her and her mindset. She is now at 467,000. Again, this video is from 2 years ago. Good for you. Look at her. She's so cute. Oh, I would advise go back and watch that without me running my mouth. The link to that specific video is in my description. Please, if you subscribe to any of the channels I share today, subscribe to Madisyn because she's I don't care who or what she's talking about. She's phenomenal. I really appreciate she just has a really even viewpoint on things. I appreciate people because this is how I try to be. We're like in the middle. We have an even keel of a viewpoint, but very much, stand firm in those opinions and views that we do have, but always with the possibility of that changing due to taking in new information and growth via conversations. Crazy. I know. Girl World is fun until it's not. YouTube is fun until it's not. It's just, it's a lot. I'm tired. I'm so fucking tired. So, yeah, Madisyn's great. Like I said, no matter who or what she's talking about, I really enjoy watching her. So just be careful out in these YouTube streets. Realize there's always eyes on. People are documenting everything, everyone and goes and says and all this stuff. And, blah, 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 and it's just remember at the end of the day, it is the fucking internet. And you shouldn't take it too seriously, in some aspects. And again, be responsible for yourself and be respectful towards others. That's my new favorite saying. Thank you everyone so much for showing up. Thanks to my lurkers, my replay crew, shout out. I'm gonna I'd like to continue this conversation in a members only stream. I'll be doing that sometime tomorrow. We're going to cover Dulce Base here soon, and we're going to get caught up with FFG. So I should be streaming at least a few more times before the end of the week is out. Thank you so much, everyone, for becoming a member, being a member. Your super chats, your support helps me out so fucking much. You have no idea because my body's broken and it means a lot. I love you guys. I'll see you in these YouTube streets. Take care, eat your vegetables, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye.